Hello folks, welcome to Epic LAN 40. I know it's been a little while, but Overwatch is back since 2017, the first time we're seeing this game. Of course, the first time we're seeing Overwatch 2 at all at Epic LAN. So it should be really great day of games for us today. Of course, 4 teams will be competing for the grand prize of being the first Epic LAN Overwatch 2 victor. So, yeah, should be a really entertaining day of games. Of course, I am Spectre, and of course, Edgar the Ruiner here to provide the action too. And I think first game of the day is Horrocks NSE is not a job versus TREDGAMING.
It was quite a shame when we had to break it to Horrocks that NSE was in fact not a job, but it's something that we're still working through on the daily. We're so excited to be here. Again, half a decade since we've seen Overwatch at this venue, back where it all started in Kettering. It's going to be a great time. We have some unbelievable talent, some of the best players from UK University, even just European Overwatch in general, going to be here today. First game, and a lot of people are saying that these could be the two that make it all the way to the finals. Horrocks, NSE is not a job. Never going to get old saying that, versus TREDGAMING.
Yeah, I think Horrocks himself said that he thinks the finals very likely going to be Horrocks NSE is not a job versus TREDGAMING, or maybe Warwick Angels versus TREDGAMING, but either way, seems like basically the perfect way to start. Of course, Horrocks, the Manchurian main support, one of the big voices in pushing to get Overwatch back at Epic LAN, so we do need to tip our caps towards him, bring that up, because without all that effort, we probably wouldn't be here today. So, yeah, thanks for that, but we'll see if that actually helps you in the server against TREDGAMING, who are looking pretty scary as of now.
Yeah, TREDGAMING, again, have some of the best talent from Europe. These guys are not here to play. No one is here just to show up. No one's here just for a little bit of fun, you know. Everyone is here. They've been grinding out. They've been on the drinks, you know. They've been on the grind as well. But everyone is just here doing their absolute damnedest to put in a shift today. So it will be an absolute banger of a match. That's all I know for sure. We do know, we have spoken a little bit with Horrocks. We have actually done a couple of interviews. Obviously, we know Horrocks is going to be that Lucio, that backbone for the entire team, alongside, I believe it's Nevix going to be their tank player today, going to be apparently locking the Rhine. None of this is new information. We know this. So I think it's going to be interesting to see whether they can make that rush work, especially on our maps today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it is EU Overwatch at the end of the day. We kind of did know we were going to see just a little bit of Reinhardt, and Horrocks does seem to have a bit of a knack for playing with teams that just love to lock the German Crusader, of course, when he competes on Galera Esports too, for those who are particularly in-depth with the UK Esports team. Nothing but rush comps there, and on the other side, TREDGAMING as well. They said they're pretty happy to play Brawl as well, so we'll probably see some good old-fashioned 2018 peak EU Overwatch. And I, for one, could not be more excited.
A little bit of EU double Gloucester cheese coming out right there. I honestly don't know what else we would expect. Interesting, obviously, a character that's been being talked about quite a lot right now is Sigma. Sigma's been being played traditionally a very poke-heavy character, but recently has been incorporated into these brawly compositions, because if you think about it, Sigma does bring a lot to the table as a kind of brawl character. A lot of damage mitigation. Obviously, yes, has the range damage, but can still be pretty lethal up close. Maybe not quite as strong as, say, a Reinhardt in pure melee range, but you play it correctly. Do you reckon that we could see quite a lot of Sigma coming out from these teams?
We definitely could. I do think Sigma is going to be one of the strongest options these teams have available, at least in a Voids, but whether the tanks, whether the teams are willing to play around the pick is a different matter entirely. I think Overwatch in its current state, you can just play whatever you're comfortable on. And I think it's going to be a little bit more important than playing whatever is 100% meta. So definitely from these two teams, or from Horrocks especially, then no Sigma will be coming out. I heard a bit of a rumor down the grapevine that Tred's a little bit more likely to be pulling out, Warwick as well. But again, comfort is king here. So while meta, then whether we see it 100% or not, very likely not.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to kind of underestimate just how far you can get in Overwatch by just playing what you're comfortable with. I mean, obviously not going to be shown quite just yet, but we know Warwick. If anyone here who's watching has been playing in Null and NSE for the past couple seasons, you'll know the absolute nightmare that has been, you know, Symmetra, Doomfist, Hog for quite a while, you know, so you can get really far just playing what you're comfortable with. You do not have to be sticking too hard meta. That being said, I think a lot of teams have the right idea by playing Lucio in a lot of their compositions. Whether you're playing, whether you're playing the Sigma, whether you're playing the Reinhardt, a lot of people are understanding that Overwatch 2 is played better as a fast game, you know. Obviously, we had Alari, BAP, that kind of slowed things down a little bit, but now teams are figuring, okay, well, we'll just run over the competition before they can really do anything to us, and I think that's an adaptation that a lot of teams are going to be making.
I have to agree with you there. I think we're always going to see lots of Lucio when you are playing these slower tanks anyway. You know, your Rhines, your Sigmas, your Ramatras as well. But, you know, seeing whether Lucio can be incorporated into your faster comps as well. You know, trying to pair him with Winston was something we experimented a lot with early Overwatch 2. Nowadays has settled down a bit. With our fast tanks, we do tend to like our double flex support metas right now, whether that be Bapalari, whether that be Ana Kiriko. But yeah, as you mentioned, Lucio right now naming the game, especially on Flashpoint, where repositioning so quickly between those points can be absolutely vital. But enough about the game for a little while. We do need to talk about the format. First, they're going to be round robin, each team playing each other once and once only. So 6 games will be played. I believe 4 will be streamed. And at the end of the day, then we're going to just use that for seeding for a double elimination bracket tomorrow. And from then on, it's just running through the bracket until we elect our king. Today, we're going to be playing best of 5 a la Overwatch 1 style, Overwatch League Season 1, in fact. So we're going to be playing every map type, every map just a seeding. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, just counting up your map score. So, going to be 5 maps every game. 1 of each. It's going to take a while. It's going to ruin our voices.
Yeah. And what's so important is that every single map matters, you know. It's not quite like, you know, first team wins the first 3 maps and then instantly, oh, well, we're just done completely. No, every single map matters. You can claw back a single map, 2 maps. It's so important that these teams do not lose focus, as we are going to get started here today with the first match of the day. Horrocks NSE is not a job versus TREDGAMING, going in very shortly. And this is what we've all been waiting for, isn't it?
Yeah, baby!
Yeah. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. We'll be going to control first, so if these teams do want to be pulling out that rush style, something that has always been quite traditionally favored, simply because you can just get yourself to the point, take some... You can just get yourself to the point as quick as you can, take position on the point. Going to be Antarctic Peninsula as the first point, so hey, if we're thinking about rush, if we're thinking about, you know, big German hammer man, few maps are better.
Hard to disagree with that. I mean, Control normally we're a bit more of open map type in terms of picking what you want, but yeah, Antarctic Peninsula definitely I think the best option we have on the table for the Reinhardt. So almost a guarantee we see that, especially on Icebreaker. I think on Labs, maybe some more options if you do want to play the Sigma, the Winston, but sub-level as well. I mean, Reinhardt is absolutely just king there. So absolutely no surprises with what we'll be saying in the server when we do eventually go in. But Antarctic Peninsula definitely one of the most exciting maps for me in the current meta right now. Of course, Samoa is still very, very fresh, but strats still being developed on Antarctic Peninsula. We're still kind of figuring out exactly when to flank and if those off angles that the map provides you is actually any good, or if you can just run it down main every single time. Starting here, though, on Labs. I did mention this is where we would be seeing the Sigma, if anything.
Well, this is just going to be the start of it, you know. Apparently Ram is missing. Not entirely sure whether they're going to be changing up the lobby for that. I'm not entirely sure. Contenders go. I mean, we do have contenders level talent, so it does make sense that we'd be doing that. Yeah, something tells me that Ramatra, really interesting what happened with Ram, just kind of fell out the meta, never really changed too much of the character, but the game just kind of, you know, changed around him, and suddenly there were just better options, I
think
suppose.
You're also underselling, though, how big of a nerf it was when they reduced his ult charge. Remember, it was about 12% knocked off of how long it takes to charge Annihilation, and when so much of Ramatra's value is Annihilation, that is a big blow. That loses so much of his value, and I mean, if a Rhine team's a Rhine team, they're going to play Reinhardt, but if they were playing Ramatra, more than likely they were going to go towards whatever's more meta at the time. So the teams that want to play Brawl, they're going to stick to Reinhardt. The teams that don't, I mean, they're on Sigmas, they're on Winstons, they're on Wrecking Balls. So yeah, I think that's just kind of what happens. I don't think it's any big loss that Ramatra's not in the game modes, but yeah, we are back now. We have changed over to sub-level, and we're seeing it now. TREDGAMING on the Reinhardt. The Spitfire composition, May and Bastion, absolutely standard. Condi, a player to watch out for on the flex spot, had a season in contenders with, I believe, Sheer Cold, and did pretty okay, if I do say so myself. Horrocks NSE is not a job. I do also want to point a little bit of attention towards Sunder, who has traveled a long way to be here, I believe from Norway.
Yeah, exactly. The talent going to be coming through. We're international, starting off Overwatch 2 Epic LAN, and a little bit of trolling going to be coming out from Tred right off the rip.
Yeah, blowing the Maywall just for funsies, but brawling out on the high ground into the Orisa comp. Going to see how much spam damage they can take, but early on, exchanging damage, you have to be scared of Takuno.
You have to be, yeah. Both teams going to be trading on the front line. Isuka going in, getting quite low. Immortality Field is there, but that's a lot of cooldowns burn, but on the side, SXJ just going to be caught out. No shield there. Takuno is going to be trading back. It's not really over yet. Both teams are still happy, but losing your tank is a big deal. But Takuno, you need to respect the damage of the Bastion right now, and not doing that does mean that there's going to be no Orisa for NSE is not a job. TREDGAMING, off the back of the man, the myth, the legend themselves, Tred, is going to be taking this first point here.
That they do, and they get by after losing their most important member. The Rhine comp obviously pivots around the Reinhardt, and with no SXJ, I was really worried, but Takuno there to clutch out the bash and damage more than enough to put Horrocks NSE on their backs, and now they're coming through the high ground, trying to get a better angle for this re-engage.
Yeah, it was just a bit interesting. They just didn't really respect the Bastion damage. Aggressive engage is going to be coming through, but that is a beautiful Maywall there. Tred putting in an absolute shift today. Sonder's damage not going to be quite enough to burn that shield down. Just going to get swung on now. Frozen up. Still so durable in the back, not necessarily dead yet. Tred actually going to be investing the Blizzard into that one, potentially an already won fight. Maybe a bit of confidence, maybe a bit of ego. Not entirely sure what that looks like.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. Tred though,
the fade away. Window actually came out there to get a nice little window. So TREDGAMING just controlling the tempo of the match right now. Sonder just going to have to be chilling in the backline here.
With the Bastion ult though, Artillery Form could get a kill, but very likely more just going to use the Force Condi's Lamp. Once that ability is gone, then the engage from Horrocks NSE is no joke can come through in earnest, but right now the beat invested early.
Yeah, very early beat coming out. Going to be matched out from both teams. Window to shoot through for Sonder, but there's no one. Yeah, but there's no one to actually get there. No idea what Crash is doing all the way over there, but Isuka going in once again. Immortality Field is there, saving up. Fate putting in a great shift on the BAP so far to try and keep the Orisa alive. Going to be rotating to point, trying to apply a little bit of pressure there, but the blade is out from AQ. Too many slashes onto Takuno, but does eventually get that kill. Both teams still going trade now on the point. Orisa ultimate coming through, however, and the advantage was just too much for NSE is not a job, working that one through in the end.
Yeah, really nice to use the window of Fate to force back the beat of Captain Prash. You really did want to go. TREDGAMING, they look like they were set up to just go for another aggressive fight, but they have to respect the damage of Sonder. And that means Horrocks NSE are in control first. Sonder using the artillery form very, very early, looking to force some space, force some time, and not forcing any resources by the looks of things. Captain Prash dies!
How do you manage that? Sonder's just clearly threading the needle. Tred calls Ajax. That would have been hilarious, but
now he's at 50% of his ult. What are they on about?
I mean, you just use that ult early to just buy some time, and you get a kill. That's about best case scenario there.
I have to say, it popped the other side for Takuno. Will it find the same amount of value though?
Yeah, now it's going to be coming through from Takuno. This time being used in the mid-fight. Tred has the Blizzard. Is it going to be catching anyone? Yes, Sonder frozen up. Big bulk of damage now gone for NSE is not a job. TREDGAMING moving back in with the aggression, with the swagger that we know that they possess. Isuka still going to be stalling out on the point. Condi from downtown with the window trying to get contested, and a late kill from Fate is not going to be enough here. TREDGAMING going to be taking this point 85%, and this is final fight territory spec.
A touch is going to be a possibility for Horrocks NSE is not a job, but TREDGAMING are pushing up. They want to stop anything going, but AQ on the Genji will be able to at least get OC started. Good angle setup. Takuno goes low, goes down.
And that could be an absolute disaster. Very early beat coming through from Horrocks. Not really going to be sustaining anything, but it's going to allow Prince on the point. Crash does get back with the beat of their own, and AQ caught out just a little bit. Window there, timing is perfect, however, is going to get pushed past by a couple members of TREDGAMING, but Isuka is an absolute machine on the point, hounding them all down, breaking down TREDGAMING to their very last compound.
And that's a lovely clutch up from Horrocks NSE is not a job. Yes, they give over 99%, but now they have ult advantage to press. They're coming up to some very strong combos. And again, 70%. TREDGAMING are running out of time too. Going to be very, very quick before a flip comes through. SXJ is going to need to find big value with that shatter.
How do you feel about this swap from Takuno?
Over to the Soldier, I'm not a massive fan, but we're going to see if there's even enough time for it to come into play.
Yeah, as you said. Oh, huge deflect! That is so much damage, but the shatter potentially even bigger, but that is great play from Iska using the ultimate. Not only does it hold back the Rhine, but it also kills them as well, and NSE is not a job. A little bit of an upset here, going to be taking this first point away.
Yeah, the face of UK Uni Overwatch clutches it up in the final hour. Horrocks NSE is not a job. Yeah, they take sub-level, but it was so damn close. I mean, ooh. A lovely hold in the top corner. I was really worried about that shatter, but unfortunately just doesn't connect from SXJ. And the combo of the pull and the blade, Isaka and AQ combining to wipe out TREDGAMING, give Horrocks NSE is not a job. The first point scored in Overwatch at Epic Land in 5 years. Now that feels weird.
I mean, Horrocks did mention on his Twitter that in the scrims they were struggling a little bit with ult tracking, or something they had to work on. Clearly not a problem there. They were absolutely expecting the shatter to come out. They had the plan. It didn't matter that 2 members went down because they were prepared for it. They came back swinging, and now we have the Sigma out that we were talking about. So there was a. So NSE is not a job. Is not very happy that there's no Rhine being played right now.
I mean, I would be too. You're in an EU tournament. You're not mirroring Rhine. I mean, what are you even here for? But Sigma taking the wide angle gives better sightlines over to TREDGAMING, but we'll see if that matters enough. They're going to struggle to leverage the point a little bit, and Sonder can control when to peek and when to take damage. Yeah,
NSE not job going to be going in. The more time that they allow this Sigma to just poke in damage, the worse it is going to be for them. Engage not really going to be getting a whole lot for the time being, however, and again, time just being bought for SXJ to just pop in more damage. A lot of damage going to be coming through. Immortality Field is there. Grasp is out. This is the defensive nature that we were talking about. Sigma just sits there as an absolute battery, but in the meantime, the rest of the team getting kills around him does not even matter. TREDGAMING once again taking first flip on this point.
A miracle that SXJ lived there. Dropped down to, what, 30 HP, but the support was there. Condi on the Baptiste, enough to keep the Sigma up, and the Sigma enough to take Horrocks down over to the Reinhardt. We're finally seeing it. Isaka on the German Crusader. Will this be the stop, the golden key, the golden bullet that cracks open the point, or will TREDGAMING be set up to take it down?
And I'm guessing the idea here is that you just get more damage onto the Sigma. Orisa, for as tanky as she is, doesn't deal tons of damage, and obviously can get eaten up with a grasp and with a lot of Sigma shielding. With Ryan, that's not really the case. Beautiful wall is going to be coming out, splitting them all up, knocking them all down. Beat from Captain Prash as well, just for a little bit of aggression. Horrocks not currently having one of their own. Going to be getting it. Is it going to be ripped right here? Doesn't seem like it. Still pushing forward. Are the delays, are the staggers going to be coming through? Eventually, yes, as Iska going to be giving their life for the cause. Late window there from Condi as well. Ultimate usage has been a little bit strange from both these teams, but you can't argue with the results of those staggers.
Oh, that's so much time burnt off the bank as well.
Horrocks
is not. Oh yeah, where is he going?
On a little adventure.
It's all back to normal.
It's pretty warm in this arena, you know. Try and get like near the ice and all that, you know.
Everywhere is ice. What is Blood on about?
I have no idea. Okay, we're just chilling. Does actually have this beat, so both support ultimates. There is going to be early ultimates. This could be a lethal combination, but the Sigma Flux misses. I don't think it caught onto anyone. Tread going to be responding with the Blizzard, but pinned. Was able to get it off, but is going to be giving their life for the cause here. Horrocks going to be traded out, but not so bad as losing a May, and now Captain Prash going down too. Window on the point here as the tank presence is being eviscerated, and now it's just a single May alone on the point. This is a big different look here from TREDGAMING now.
I think Isaka got stunned out of the shatter by the rock. Genuinely, because we hear the ult go off, but we don't see it go down. Horrocks trying to get the touch, 3%. No chance at all. Icebreaker is gone. And a total reversal of what we saw on the previous sub-map. TREDGAMING sweep at 100-0, and onto Labs. That kind of does shake up the conversation here a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely massive play there from TREDGAMING, and a totally different look, as you said. The Sigma clearly seems to be working out for them. NSE is not a job. They're having the right idea. They're trying to play this composition very aggressively, but they're just, you know, going down to they're just going down to quite a lot of strange things, and there was obviously that incident as well where they just kind of didn't, you know, disengage from the fight as quick as they should have. Maybe gave up maybe an entire fight because they couldn't decide whether to go in or out. Going to be seeing whether they can redeem themselves here on our last point.
Yeah, we'll be deciding on Labs. Horrocks back on the Reinhardt. Tread still playing the Sigma, not to be confused with the players in the server who are, of course, not even on those roles. We'll see if the stylistic matchup is going to go the same way as last year. If Horrocks, NSE is not a job, have cleaned up their rotations because some weird walks were punishing
great
them.
wall.
Yeah, Tred has been an absolute surgeon bisecting Horrocks, NSE is not a job time and time again, and this time no one falls.
Yeah, no one going to be falling from that wall, but it did buy a lot of space. This entire high ground has been taken here for TREDGAMING. You can see Horrocks NSE just backed into a corner. Another wall there, this time trying to relieve a bit of pressure. Both tanks going to be traded out, but Sonda caught in a really rough spot. And now Takuno is here, so free, with the turret form, just to grind down all of NSE is not a job. And honestly, that fight was just decided by the initial May wall. It just started a snowball that TREDGAMING just capitalized off of.
Yeah, more than a couple has just been Tred. Been absolutely fantastic on the May, less so with the Icicles and more so with the May Wolves. But if you're finding your value, then bully to where it comes from, because right now, putting his team on his back.
Yeah, it's gonna be chilling there. Early turret form gonna be coming out. NSE not a job, just gonna be backing off from this. There's no rush for the time being. Now they've waited things out. Looks like they are going to be going in. An early window going to be coming through. Is going to be walled off. And this is the rush down that you want to see. Takuno had no right to be staying alive there. The supports from TREDGAMING are absolutely cracked and going to be popping the window too from downtown. And there we have it. That was the right plan there for NSE is not job. They waited out cooldowns. They tried to go in again, and it just didn't quite work.
No, it really didn't. Yeah, the Sigma doesn't have to go aggressive all the time, but it can. Oh, this is a brutal stagger. On to face.
Welcome to Kettering!
That's the treatment you're getting. Meleeed to death, taken down shortly. And yeah, the Bastion just barely missed onto Sonda. But these late aggressive pushes are just getting stagger after stagger. TREDGAMING don't have to take a single fight if they can keep taking these consecutive 5-on-1s.
Yeah, and AQ did actually pop the Blizzard there as well, so there was a big freeze that came out onto TREDGAMING, and like there were like 4 of them frozen, but 0 follow-up, 0 capacity to get onto that. NSE's not a job, still just gonna be trying to find something to work with here as they push in. The Flux is going to be coming out, is actually going to be catching the Rhine and the Lucio this time. May too caught in it. Now popping himself in the middle of the team with that overhealth from the Lucio beat, stay nice and tanky, but instead the Shatter comes through into thin air. Condi will go down actually, however, just about caught out there. Shield from Isuka going to be just pounded down now. It is back and forth on the point. Losing Sonda is a big deal here, and now there is not enough sustain to keep Isuka alive. TREDGAMING looks like they're just going to be taking this nice and clean 2-1 victory on this first point. Can there be a stall coming through? Yes, IQ will get there, but it's all going to be for naught. Sonda's artillery strike just going to be for show, as you know, the alarm bells ring out for a little bit of failure there, as NSE is not a job. Going to be losing out that first one. TREDGAMING, first map of the day.
Yeah, they start a little bit slow, do TREDGAMING, but they warm up into it. And I think once they stop seeing the signal on the other side of the board, or the Orisa, sorry, then it was just absolutely free for them. Their Sigma too strong. The Reinhardt of Isuka unfortunately was punished, I think, a lot more than Horrocks NSE is not a job were expecting. And so what I thought would be a Ryan matchup ended up being anything but poke into the brawl from both sides. And yeah, we saw TREDGAMING winning it out. Just incredible play from the Sigma especially. But I mean, we have to talk about Tred, the titular player, the eponymous May, who constantly was just soaring NSE is not a job in half.
And it's as you say, when you're on May, what are your jobs? To hit right clicks. It's to hit right clicks. It's to build fast blizzards, and most importantly, May wall. You have to get those walls. It changes the entire dynamic of the fight. It is such a big deal, and I mean, Tred was doing that with reckless abandon, as you say. It almost felt like every other fight was just being won off the back of Tred's walls. Whether it was being used most of the time, obviously, to split NSE is not a job in half, but a lot of the time it would also be used defensively. It would save the life of the Sigma, allow Tred to stay in the fight for even longer, which is especially good considering the aggression that we saw from NSE is not a job coming out, being mitigated by Tred oftentimes. So the ability of Tred to both play so aggressively when they need to, and then also to back off, play defensive, and withstand the onslaught from NSE's not a job. Just stellar performance all around on that first point.
Oh, yeah, really hard to disagree with that. And I think once we moved off of sub-level especially, and I think, again, once we saw Horrocks move off of the Orisa, then, yeah, very, very one-sided. I don't think that it was like a sweep in that and it was all like entirely one-sided, but 100-0 both maps. That is a pretty strong message after you stumble a little bit in your first loss. So yeah, gonna be rough for Horrocks. NSE is not a job going into the next map. I do believe it's their pick. So where are you going next?
I mean, you've just been kind of destroyed against a Sigma, right? You just want to play something that's very comfortable with what you have. There isn't really a lot of room for adaptation now. The prep work has been done, the scrim's been done. I don't really think that NSE is not a job are going to be innovating anytime soon. They're going to be running the Rhine, they're going to be running the Lucio, they're going to be, full EU, running it down main, big German hammerman, all of that lovely stuff. The map type that we have next, I believe it was going to be hybrid next. Yeah, Kings. It's going to be Kings Row. I mean,
Scrims Row.
Kings Row. Yeah, the only hybrid map in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Kings Row is going to be coming up next. I mean, you talk about Rhine maps, you talk about EU, just goes together like ham on a sandwich, doesn't it?
I'm not going to comment about how on a sandwich.
Yeah, shut up.
But yeah, London, just a short hop down the road, very likely where we will see it go next. A map that everything can be played. Reinhardt, a smidgen more than most other things. So, yeah, I have to agree with you there. Very, very likely that we're going to be seeing that. Horrocks NSE is not a job. If they want to stick on the Reinhardt, then, yeah.
I think we need to remind the teams that we're on Overwatch 2 now, so they can't be running like the Rhine Zarya.
Maybe. Horrocks has been retired for too long.
Horrocks is waking up like Overwatch 2, 5v5? What are you talking about? Come on, let's go play. Let's go on Kings and run it down main with some Rhine Zarya.
Yeah. Now, I do also believe that Horrocks NSE is not a job. They only played a single scrim going into Epic Land, so we'll see exactly how much coordination this mix has, because I think a couple of weird splits did come from a lack of that scrim time, but I think there's always it's a first map. It could be a warm-up, and on your own map pick, you always have some better strats cooked up. You're always going to be a little bit more comfortable. See if that comes into play here in KR.
Yeah, I think also interesting decision from these Brawl teams is going to be, there's kind of that trio of characters that you want to play: the Bastion, the Sim, and the Mei. Bastion seems to just be a mainstay, and I think at this point I'd agree. It's going to be getting a change relatively soon, but obviously details that are thin on the ground and still really strong in the Brawl, such overwhelming damage. What do you think differentiates between whether a team might decide to play the Sim or whether they decide to play the Mei?
I think the Symmetra is going to be used when you're struggling to scale around the map. So, for example, on Kings Row, your only way of accessing the high ground without mobility options is running round the right side flank over and then speeding over the high grounds. This is not practical for most teams for more than a one-off, so they're going to be using AQ's teleporter to get there instead. But once they see that the defense is all starting on the low grounds, then yeah, TREDGAMING making swaps over to the Bastion. This is better in a close-up engage.
And that was, and Prash actually going to the Weaver there. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. SXJ went in incredibly aggressive, knowing that pull was there, and it got in so much damage, so much work onto NSE is not a job, that it just seemed to work out. This might be a little pocket strat that TREDGAMING have been preparing. Lifeweaver, very unconventional pick there.
He's still on Lifeweaver.
Yeah,
he's still on Lifeweaver. We have capping first point. He's still playing Lifeweaver. There is no time for a recontest by the looks of things. And Horrocks NSE is no job. We're not set up for a brawl on brawl. And TREDGAMING, when they are playing the Mei Bastion, they do win out those brawl on brawls unless the Symmetra is on a great angle. Unless the fight does take long enough for the Symmetra beam to ramp up, but it doesn't. And that means we will be seeing an Archhold coming through from Horrocks.
Yeah, Archhold obviously going to be a very strong point here. TREDGAMING know this. They're pushing forward early. TP is going to be coming out. All of NSE's not job going onto the high ground. Horrocks split up, going to be caught out with a nade in the sky. Clay Pigeon shooting there for Takuno. Great stuff there. And losing your Lucio means that you cannot move yourself around the map so effectively. There's so much damage coming through from Takuno, putting in a great shift. Prash is still on Lifeweaver.
Yeah, it's 80% to the tree. We're going to be seeing the ultimate come up, and I don't know if it's BM or an actual strat, but either way it is working out.
SXJ went into the train tunnel. What are you doing there, my man?
Probably for a pin. There's no shatter for it now.
Yeah, that could be a little bit scary. Going to be seeing how long we want to be staying in there. Definitely waiting on some kind of call for the team now. Both teams going to be coming off with decent ultimates, however, and oh my god, he's still in there. Are they going to check this?
Yeah, he's seen.
It's a jump scare. It's the Rhine jump scare coming out, comes in. Tred going to be popping the Blizzard at the same time, and it's a war on two fronts here for NSE is not a job to deal with. They weren't able to use any of their ultimates. They just all went down so quickly, and the coordination is on point for TREDGAMING, and now we have a Ryan on the high ground.
I've never seen a Lucio fighting a Reinhardt for this higher ground, but here we are, folks. This is Kettering for you.
Only in Kettering. You would not see this kind of elite gameplay anywhere else. He's going for another pin off the high ground.
And Sonda goes down to it.
Sonda. Unbelievable play. Horrocks realizing that something has to be done to bring the fight back. Going to be popping a beat in the meantime. Fate with a window 2, but TREDGAMING are too durable on the point. SXJ is going to be going down. Yeah, Prash is dueling in the backline, but Horrocks
where are you going
to be checking that. I don't know. Something about Kettering, something about LAN. Something making them all just a little stressed out, but instead Tred and Condi going to be clutching things out on the point, and TREDGAMING 5 minutes left on the time bank with this very unconventional strategy.
And Horrocks NSE is not a job. Invest into this massively. 4 ultimates. They didn't even get the win out of it. So Isuka with the Shatter going to be the only tool. And in the Ryan on Ryan, big mind games being played here between SXJ and Isuka. Whether one can land the Shatter, whether the other can block it. So, oh, the flank!
Oh, there we are. Shatter is huge. Life Grip is going to be coming through to try and save a life. And Condi going to be off the map. What are you doing, mate? There's nothing down there. Going to be forced into the abyss. Unfortunately, Sonda will be getting the Bastion diff here briefly, but TREDGAMING have the tank presence. They have the time, and they're going to be staggering out Fate even more, who has not been having a fun time today. And this Ryan's just moving all the way around the map. Tred also going to be popping the... Is that a solo Blizzard onto Sonda?
Yes, it is. Now, I will say, this Lifey we were seeing from Captain Brash, I do think it has some, like, some boots in reality, I'll put it that way. Reminds me very much of a strat that Vegas Eternal played against London Spitfire. The Lifeweaver allows a lot of peel into Mails and into Reinhardt ult. The Petal and the Pull both can survive those long CCs. That is one part of that it does get in the Brawl Big Brawl.
Yeah, exactly. You also have that more healing place of mind, and SXJ going to be dropping the shield for just a second, getting absolutely melted there. Takuno, however, has made the swap over to the Sojourn. Sonda caught out. Tree is here as well. Keep the rest of TREDGAMING nice and healthy. They recently buffed the Tree. It's actually a fairly strong ultimate. There is going to be a focus on breaking that now. And you see Horrocks has nothing else to do other than just stay on the point, make sure it doesn't get capped. The respawns are going to be coming in for TREDGAMING, so it should be all good here. That being said, Horrocks is going down. That's the tank presence. Shatter going to be hitting nothing but net here. It is so close on this point, but it's just the Ryan. You cannot leave this point. You need someone to get back. Sim and Fate are going to be trying to touch it out. It is still a brawl, anyone's game, but Takuno with the overclock. Horrocks does get back, keep things nice and tanky, but that beat health is going to be evaporating almost instantly. TREDGAMING finishing this up. 3 minutes on the time bank, and this is a very strong attack round.
Horrocks NSE is not a job, looks stunned the entire game. There's some strats set up when they were all hiding statue side, but TREDGAMING just came, knocked them out, and just kept on rolling with the payload. Looks like Horrocks NSE is not a job, just didn't, they weren't able to set up for the rest of that defensive side. And while, yes, they did manage to get a little bit of time off on that third point, then realistically it was seconds on the hour there. TREDGAMING, 3 minutes to attack. They have plenty of time, and considering the form they're showing right now, it's looking pretty scary if I'm Horrocks NSE is not a job. But now is a good time to remind the viewer at home this is not a series they're fighting for the win or the loss. They're playing for individual maps here. And TREDGAMING right now looking very set to get the first 2. Horrocks NSE is not a job. They do have to play the entirety of the 5, every map type at least once. But once you've started losing, then it's quite easy just keep on keeping on. So a little bit of momentum, or at least, you know, some competitiveness early on in this series is going to make it so much easier when you get into those late maps, into Flashpoint, for example.
Yeah, Prash is actually going to be sick on Lifeweaver again, and it's kind of as you discussed before, it's not a total meme strat anymore. Obviously, did get buffed fairly recently, and it seems that they're just using this Weaver to allow SXJ to play incredibly aggressive, deal so much damage to NSE is not a job, and then just get pulled out, recover, and just carry on once again. Horrocks NSE is not a job, not going to be adjusting anything. Happy to run the Lucio here. Aggressive pin. SXJ was just chilling in the backline. Is it going to be paying off? Maybe, maybe not. Tred not really getting isolated exactly as you'd like to there. But Takuno is going to be catching onto Sonda, and is this a spawn camp coming out from TREDGAMING? Not quite. SXJ is going to be going down, so they would struggle to hold it, but the rest of the picks have come through there. Maybe they can try their best to get their Rhyme back as quick as possible and just keep this pressure up.
Yeah, close spawns though for Horrocks NSE is not a job means that SXJ will be far later than any member of the attacking side, so they're just going to have to give up space. They can't take the spawn hold again, and Horrocks NSE is not a job. Let through the choke for free, essentially. Takuna, though, with on the Bastion, still set up to get plenty of work done. The Pestle to position him. Now, this is some actual life weaver value here.
Yeah, Bastion on the high ground will be absolutely lethal. Horrocks going to be booping that back for just a second. NXT is not a job trying to back out of it, but so many resources have been burnt. Yes, they get out with their life, but the wall is gone, the immortality field is gone. So much work put in by this high ground Bastion. Wall coming out from Tred to try and keep Tred in the fight. Keep nice and aggressive, but the window there, Takuno, you got to respect that, my man. And SXJ going to be catching onto Sonder as well. Bab going down for Horrocks NSE is not a job. It's going to be a big deal, and the hammer will be brought down for SXJ
is going.
as well. SXJ is absolutely popping off today.
Yeah, 3
what did they put in their Weetabix this morning?
Do they have Weetabix this morning?
I have no idea if they have Weetabix this morning.
I don't think we care enough to find out, but yeah, some great chats coming from TREDGAMING. They did say they had a certain off-roll into a certain team to be unnamed, so maybe this is it. The livelihood so far working out fantastically, and they're TPing behind them for a quick engage onto the team.
Yeah, Condi actually sticking on the high ground as well with the window, and Iska is going to get pinned out, stunned up, so much damage coming in. The pressure is absolutely unrelenting here. Looking at this from Horrocks NSE's point of view, it's just terrifying. No matter where you move, TREDGAMING are on you. They are behind you, they are above you. It's just an absolutely horrific spot to be in.
Yeah, speaking of the pressure, it's like Horrocks NSE is not a job. 20,000 leagues under the sea right now. South is not remotely in sight. Sonder's artillery formation, a Hail Mary that does not connect. Instead, trying to punish TREDGAMING will be the choice.
Yeah, and finally the punish is going to be coming through. SXJ is going to be caught out. Tred still in the backline, beaming down members of TREDGAMING. Actually going to be catching... Sorry, beaming down members of NSE is not a job. Going to be catching 2 here. That being said, Bat was fouled, but Tred is still here. I think that is the apt word to describe what is happening right now. TREDGAMING.
I mean, Tred with the 3-piece. Takuno gets the final 2. And Horrocks NSE is not a job. They had some momentum for a split second, but instantly stymied by the DPS of TREDGAMING, who, yeah, back to the spawn hold now.
Yeah, Tred actually realized they were out of position there without a TP, so pop the wall, pop the sim wall there just for a little bit of protection, and this is a very cheeky TP spot. Oh goodness me. Is this gonna be a play from the top ropes coming in? There is a Bastion now on this high ground. SXJ gonna be caught out again, left a little bit stranded by the rest of the team who are doing some acrobatics in the sky there. And yeah, NSE is not a job, gonna be pushing through off the back of that beat as well. So much damage that came in.
Great cap, point.
And you have to touch the point. Just because you're in Kettering doesn't mean you're allowed to forget about the point. Nice save there onto Tred, though.
Well, it's just delaying the inevitable, surely. There's no way that all of these players can get out. Best case is getting an ultimate out of Horrocks NSE is not a job, but they're looking pretty disciplined right now. So just chasing, looking for the fight, and on top of the Pestle, Iska connects the hammer.
Fate has been caught. I have never seen a fight taken place here after the first point has been captured. The trades are better here for NSE is not a job. There is a coalescence trying to slowly beam down Iska, but the Horrocks amp healing is going to be enough here. But this is more time being burnt off the clock by TREDGAMING. Yes, it's a bit of a meme fight. Yes, they maybe feed quite a lot of ult charge over to NSE is not a job.
Yes.
But there's time off the clock.
Well,
and that's
yes,
what's
but
important.
it also gives up one of the strongest holds in the game, the Arch hold. So that means they're going to be fighting realistically around this corner here, Iska's third-person peeking.
Condi has gone over to Mercy.
What in God's name is going on?
I think we've lost any sense of reasoning, and we're just kind of full chilling now right now. Artillery is going to be coming through, not going to be catching onto anything. It does break the Rhine shield early, but there is going to be time to wait out here. And the pin is going to be coming through, synced up with Takuno, who does actually end up catching out Horrocks. Window in the meantime, not going to be doing anything for Fate. It's in the middle of the team, and SXJ just going to be happy to swing onto everyone. TREDGAMING have been cooking something. I have no idea what. And now they're back at the spawn doors.
How did Takuno get there? Literally walked all the way onto the high ground, about what we see in there. Gets the great flank onto the entirety of Horrocks. NSE is not a job. Catches out Horrocks, been shatter invested.
Yeah, SXJ going to be shattering there, not going to be catching onto anything, and is eventually going to get pinned up against the Mail there. Takuno taking the TP onto this side. Great idea there, but there's the follow-up. Horrocks, a little bit bloodthirsty, a little bit annoyed at the shenanigans that have been pulled off.
He's just emoting,
He's just chilling. Oh my god.
Okay, we're in full-on silly town right now.
Okay, every map matters, right?
At Shred Gaming right now, they are cooking. That's all I can really say. And Horrocks NSE is not a job. They're able to punish that. They're able to take some forward space. Isaac has the shatter, not been able to find big value out of it before. Maybe here on the forward held, it can be a little bit different from him.
Yeah, nice Maywall there. Is going to be pretty quickly broken up. SXJ actually going to be caught out in the freeze, and yeah, huge. Very simple there. Just a single ultimate fight from NSE is not a job. Showing a little bit of discipline now, and looks like they're just going to be taking second point off of that. Yep. There's no chance that they can match the time bank, but...
Prash, what are you doing? Why are you there?
What is my man on about?
What is blood cooking? What is going on? I don't know. I've never seen a Lifeweaver try and flank to touch the point, but I guess it's the first time for everything,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we need more Overwatch at Epic LAN. We get to see shenanigans and chicanery such as this. It's gonna be an early artillery coming out from Sonder. Try and catch onto a couple of low members of TREDGAMING. Not really getting a whole lot of value, and all that's not going to do a whole lot when there's time to prepare for it. Early window is out, and SXJ walled off, and I think NSE is not a job. They've had enough of the foolishness. They've had enough of the memes now. They're just pushing through with reckless abandon.
Yeah, SXJ had his day ruined there. Full shielding on the front line, but it turns out a Bastional and change is more than enough to you absolutely forward a Baptiste window. Just made it impossible for the Reinhardt, and trying to get Takuna on an off angle behind them has not worked out for TREDGAMING.
Yeah, and now there's a beat to keep, here to keep nice and tanky. Sonder not kind of realizing they're getting broken down here. Tred walling up on the point, but you know who doesn't care about that wall? Isuka's hammer. AQ is actually going to be popping the Blizzard onto the point. Shatter onto the skybox where Captain Prash was on the
cap
pedal.
with time.
And a cap with time. Still a very winnable map here for NSE is not a job. I think they finally figured out TREDGAMING shenanigans, and they were just having none of it by the end.
I mean, yeah, if you're losing to Mercy Lifeweaver and your Lifeweaver is flanking, then something is going, I think, pretty categorically wrong. But no, the absolute, yeah, as you mentioned, chicanery out of TREDGAMING, it didn't do them too many favors. Some nice ideas. They maybe went for, you know, one flank with Takune, maybe a second, and fair enough, but that many, I mean, you have to cotton on eventually, right? And we saw more than a couple of times Horrocks going back to put a stop to all the fun and games. Back to serious Overwatch only as we go into extra innings here on Kings Row. A minute for Horrocks NSE on the attack.
Yeah, Tred realizing that they kind of need to, you know, make something work here now, and they're back on the Lucio, you know, the dishonest.
Lucio Bap, it's normal. They're being normal.
The dishonest character. Hey, it's no Lifeweaver, right? We know that Lifeweaver is the more honest pick into this, but unfortunately we don't have honesty. That being said, they're still going to be taking a cheeky TP into the hotel here, and even just because they've swapped off the Lifeweaver, something tells me they're still not done with the shenanigans.
Okay, but surely they clear this corner. This is the most common corner to hide in. They have a TP lined up as well, so they've got something in mind. They've been cooking, and hopefully not overcooking the hooch.
The TP is going to be coming out, and that is Bastion turret fire raining down from above. Walking in the valley of the shadow of death. Horrocks NSE is not a job, and they are just going to be absolutely slaughtered here from both sides. SXJ cooking, and as we say, there's only
to get 20 seconds off the bank.
Yeah, simple as that. There's now only really one realistic fight left, and you know, no momentum bought here for NSE is not a job.
Yeah, they got 30 seconds to get on the point. Winning it, I think, can come afterwards. And look at their ult charge. AQ's the highest at 30%. It's going to be so damn far in TREDGAMING. They might even have a chance to build
great wall. Yeah, amazing Maywall there. Immortality Field will be forced out early. SXJ fortunately going to be living there, backing up just a little bit. Look at Tred, almost going to be getting to this Maywall as Fate is charging up the window as well, but not going to need it. Tred going to be going down so early with the ultimate, and a window here to secure things out here for NSE is not a job. Even off the back of that first attack, they are going to be taking this point here fairly convincingly, and now it's just a time. You have no time left. You have to stick to this point like glue. How far can you push it?
Well, right now, Horrocks NSE are not doing too badly here. And remember, these overtime spawns, that means that those staggers we just saw there are so much more punishing. Takuno, Conde, only just respawning now. And that means there's a lot of free push for Horrocks NSE is not a job. They'll be able to get it all the way through second, pretty much uncontested. And TREDGAMING, though they would love to harry this push, they just have no chances. So Horrocks NSE is not a job. They are loving life right now. They might not have won the first fight, but they still have a very good chance of taking King's Row as they make it through the arch. TREDGAMING have finally set up as 5. And they're going for another strat. They've teleported over to the high ground. They're wrapping behind Horrocks. Have they noticed?
I don't think they have yet. It's just going to be figured out. Wall going to be popped and a shatter from SXJ. Not going to be getting a whole lot of anything, but the map has been flipped here. And the point is just going to be barely contested here. Takuno raining down artillery fire there. Map flipped. Nothing. NSE just got completely bamboozled there. And that is going to be TREDGAMING with a pretty decent defense there. Not unwinnable here for Horrocks NSE, but the win condition is clear for Tred, and they have 3.5 minutes to do it.
I mean, it only took them a second, it felt like, to get the cap on that first void. So, you know, a bit of an improvement on Horrocks NSE is not a job, and they have a real chance of winning King's Row here, but still, they can't fold over. They can't crumple like tissue paper like they did on that first attempt, and yeah, they showed they've been able to step up their game in later rounds, but if the ghost of the past comes back to haunt them, TREDGAMING could go up 2-0. And I have to say, that fight plan at the end of that last round for TREDGAMING, beautiful. Normally, Horrocks NSE is not a job. They played that pretty well. They kited back. They were able to trade it back, but they needed to stay on the cart. TREDGAMING, they had all the space in the world. And the overtime wick, I think, was the real victor there, the real linchpin that meant that TREDGAMING won that last fight. So brilliant fight planning from TREDGAMING, and Horrocks NSE is not a job. They're going to have to equalize it.
Also, a small but subtle point to make is that TREDGAMING, they ended up flipping the map. So essentially, they positioned themselves as the attackers, and because they're able to position themselves behind the cart, it puts a lot of pressure onto NSE as not a job, because obviously they have to stick with it, but they don't really have the cover to hide behind anymore. They just have to kind of walk out into the open and get shot from a distance. Now it's on TREDGAMING. I think if you were talking about ghosts earlier, I think right now Horrocks NSE is being haunted by the ghost that is Captain Crash's Weaver, but hey, that's a pretty good start of things.
And an aggressive push as well, trying to get these later kills. Icica drops a little low, but they got the kill into SXJ as well, so great start coming out. Takuno!
Horrocks
takes care of Horrocks!
Yeah, would be interesting if we saw an Ajax in the chat. Wouldn't be entirely accurate, but wouldn't put it past these teams. And yeah, now Takuno happy to stick on the Widow, because what's actually going to be contesting them? There's no sim here from Horrocks NSE, so this Widow's just good to chill.
Yeah, makes the rotate a lot more awkward. It does mean the Brawl 1v1 is going to be won out by Horrocks NSE. Is not a job. Giving me the heebie-jeebies. It is Takuno, though. SXJ will be the first to fall.
Yeah, TP came in there from TREDGAMING, but unfortunately they just kind of got split up here, and not a whole lot they can do. This is the issue. The Widow's value is very intermittent. Going to be dueling out the Widow! Yeah, that was one of the more clean assassinations I've seen. It is in fact a Lucio's job to make Widow's life an absolute living hell, and Horrocks doing it phenomenally right now.
Yeah, this defense is actually going very, very well. 2 minutes in, not a single cap given up. No percentage on the board whatsoever, and Fate has the window with Icica back on the Reinhardt. Could be a fire strike through it, but no kills.
Yeah, and SXJ going to be pushing up a little forward here. Walled off, eviscerated, evaporated, gone from the game. Crash is happy to invest a beat here, see if there's something else that can be made for it. But it will actually work out. They are going to be finding Horrocks and Icica. Yes, trades are coming through, but you have to remember that the spawns here are better just going to be better for TREDGAMING. Horrocks NSE, they recognize this, going to have to get themselves to the backup point, and now they're going to have to re-engage into a full TREDGAMING team.
That they will on the point. Fashional going to buy plenty of space, but yeah, pushing back on the window, going to make TREDGAMING's life oh so much easier. The Blizzard does the opposite.
Yeah, Blizzard actually going to be a nightmare scenario here for SXJ. Has to pin out of it, going to get absolutely split up and eviscerated. Horrocks NSE have put in a great shift on this defense so far. No more ultimates going to be traded out from these teams for the time being, but Fate going to be building up to another window very, very quickly. Tred off the sim, making the swap over to the main. Oh! Condi caught! Absolutely huge pick there. Even more time off the clock now.
Yeah, definitely. Icica with the shatter. Going to be mirroring SXJ in just a second. So the Ryan Mind Games might be the linchpin that decides King's Row. If one connects, the other doesn't, then could just be the end of the map. And we're getting into final fight territory for TREDGAMING. Horrocks NSE is not a job. They have the ults, they have the positioning, and they have the momentum on their side. And a May wall too!
There's the window, there's the wall. That's the perfect play. Absolutely eviscerate. SXJ it's such a change. Initially was putting in so much work, but now it's just getting bullied out by Horrocks NSE.
Yeah, base it in. Hook, line, and sinker. That attempt at fishing works out. Final fight now, 25 seconds. Orion's only just back. Again, the Ryan mind game's going to be the sink or swim for Tread Gaming, but Takuna's also going to be the opener.
Yeah, beat is gonna be found here from Horrocks, and the shatter is huge. It is massive, knocking everyone down. Tread Gaming gonna be pushing through off the back of that, finding Sonder, finding Iceka, probably the most important picks that you can in this fight. And at the last second, SXJ had enough of being bullied. Gonna be bringing them all down with that hammer. Tread Gaming still in this map.
That they are, so we're coming down to the final fight. It took them just the shatter and the window for Tread Gaming, so there's still the beat from Prash for this next fight. That means probably an aggressive fight from Tread Gaming, but they're going to have to be very wary because Aku and Icicle can both shut that down with their own CC. Going to have to see if that's what they elect to do, and I do believe it's going to be one fight. It's going to be the distance.
Oh.
An aggressive Blizzard.
Yeah, very aggressive Blizzard.
Huge.
They're not happy to have one fight. That's the freeze, that's the shatter. SXJ is down. All of Tread Gaming going to be falling. Prash getting a trade out late on, but it's not going to be enough. Horrocks NSE is not a job. Playing so aggressive, taking Kings, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat there. Going to be going 1-1 in this series.
I mean, it looks so over. It looks so over when it started out. I mean, a 3-minute time back, 5 minutes coming into the final map.
We need more Overwatch. We need more Overwatch at Epic Land.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hearing today.
I mean, yeah, Horrocks NSE is not a job. They put their skates on. They put their actual... I don't know. I guess they turned their monitors on, but they're able to win it out on Kings Row. Momentum flip the other way.
It was like watching two entirely different teams.
Yeah.
NSE's not a job. They were getting eviscerated by, remember, a Weaver Mercy backline.
Maybe Weaver Mercy is just the meta.
I mean, maybe we're just bad at the game, you know, and we don't know what we're talking about.
There's no maybe about it.
Speak for yourself, mate. But it's two different teams. They were playing so... Horrocks NSE, just after, like, say, that second point of their attack, something just flipped. They were playing so clean. They realized that they weren't just going to let Tread Gaming walk all over them. They would be the ones to take the initiative. They would be the ones to plan out fights. They're not just going to sit there and let the game happen to them, you know? And it really made a big change. So now what I'm looking at is two very evenly matched teams to go through for the rest of this series.
Hard to disagree with that. I mean, both teams warmed up now coming into the action. Then, I mean, these final 3 maps should be absolutely electric. So I'm massively excited to see what we have coming up for us next. The Reinhardt fully locked in now for Horrocks NSE is not a job, and Tread Gaming going to be more than tempted to mirror it. Going to be absolutely non-stop action. The EU never stops as we do wait for the map pick to come through. Tread Gaming's, of course, now we have seen the map loss come through. Of course, loser pick. So Captain Prash and Co back to the drawing board, seeing exactly what works, what doesn't, if we're going to be seeing any more Life Weaver Mercy.
And I guess here's the weird thing. Do you consider that a success if you're Tread Gaming? You lost the map. Your strategy... It was working so incredibly well for such a long time, and then it just kind of completely snapped.
They just swapped off of the Life Weaver Mercy.
Yeah, and eventually they were like, okay, we're just not going to play it anymore. So I guess you can't really consider it. Even though it had so much initial success, it was more of a surprise factor, you know? And
I think the strat works, right?
Yeah, it certainly did. As we are actually hearing, we are going to be going into Suravasa, our next map. First time that Flashpoint is being played at Epic LAN. Now, it's the first time that a lot of Overwatch things are being played at Epic LAN, so maybe not a big deal. But even still, brand new map type. So for anyone who may be unfamiliar, did you want to just run through how the map was going to work quickly?
Imagine Control, but more.
5 of them.
Exactly.
5 of the controls.
And faster. Exactly.
So
the name of the game on Flashpoint is going to be positioning. It's where you position around the Flashpoint initially. You only have a fight or 2 to defend it, and then rotating to the next one. So the big thing, the thing that separates the wheat from the chaff when it comes to Flashpoint games, that's exactly how you can play around those rotations. If you can punish them when they come up, or if you just try and fight on the point, if you are like in the start of playing Control, sorry. So that is going to be something to pay attention to as we see these two teams. Tread Gaming, clearly they have plenty of scrim time, so if they can get their go button on, get the killer instincts in, then we could be seeing the pain put on Horrocks Gaming. See if the thumb screws come out, though. Siravasa, I mean, that's not what I expected. But I mean, with only 2 Flashpoint maps in their game right now, the options are kind of limited. Normally what you see there are lots of Sojin Genji, or Bash and Genji. but Orisa normally the name of the game. I haven't seen too much Reinhardt on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Ryan is a traditionally best pick. I mean, it may just more so be the case that when the Flashpoint maps were released, Orisa was just kind of the strongest character. Orisa has received a couple of small nerfs recently.
Very small.
A little bit. Hey, 50 health can make a lot of difference.
And 5% on the damage reduction of Fortify. Yeah, she is weaker, but how much?
Well, that's what the teams are judging today. But if we're judging from the teams today, apparently Lifeweaver Mercy is the best backline in the game.
That's true, actually.
So
I do think, though, the Lifeweaver did get a lot of its value because I don't think TREDGAMING were using Lucio speed that aggressively all that much. So if you're not speeding in, then Lifeweaver is going to provide more value than a Lucio. Unfortunately, just the neutral healing you have, your cooldown impact as well, is pretty huge and relatively consistent as well. Whereas with Lucio, of course, the AoE heals, not all that.
Yeah, we are going to be running it through. And yeah, Flashpoint, one of the game modes where there are so few game modes where you have to consider the mode itself so strongly. You know, oftentimes you're just kind of thinking of, okay, well, we have to win the fight so that we can take the objective, right? But Flashpoint, you have to think about everything you do, every rotation, every fight that you've won. Okay, how are we going to move now? Where do we have to be? As you very well put, positioning is the name of the game, and for some reason the players in chat are talking about where they can go get some scran.
I'm kind of hungry though too.
Maybe
they have to pay attention to that afterwards, but
that's to deal with later. We're on the job right now.
Casting
okay.
Is hungry business. What can I say?
True. What can we say?
Okay, we see Reinhardt. You'll know how it's gonna be. I think the Torbjorn probably just a spawn pick going over to the Symmetra likely very late later.
Yeah, or we're going to be seeing a Sojourn out here from...
No, you got baited.
Okay, well, happens all the time, right? We are going to be opening it up on this first point here. Going to be heading over, and yeah, both these teams
real.
Yeah, the Torb's actually a real pick. Well, what's the idea here of the Torb here?
Torb's brawly, lots of HP, lots of damage. You can get the turret set up an off angle too. Oh. It looks like, okay, we're not live.
Okay.
So going to have to go back. See, beautiful face.
Well, I guess let's just clarify a little more about where you can get that value from the Torbjorn.
Okay, so it's going to be very interesting, but normally with Brawl, you're going to be playing as one big hunk, right? And you all run, you focus on one person, but what Torbjorn allows you to do is essentially have a sixth player in certain senses. You have an extra source of damage, even though it is relatively low, and you have extra information as well. That Torb turret isn't really so focused on exactly the rest of your team is doing, you know. If you're in a team mindset once targets are being called, then everyone can be very single-minded, very on even like a one-track mind, you know, but not Torbjorn. The turret can look at whatever, so if there's any flanks coming in, Torb can spot it out pretty okay, which might be some of the idea. As well, of course, the extra HP in the shotgun, close range, that's a bruiser. So while not what I would call hard meta, I don't hate seeing the Torbjorn here, but replacing the Symmetra, replacing the Mei, not what I would have expected. Normally I would have guessed it would be in place of Bastion.
I mean, I just don't think teams are comfortable to swap off the Bastion, honestly. A lot of how the past season of play has been formed is based off the Bastion pick. You know, how are teams going to adapt to the ever-present threat, which is a 300 health Omnic with a bunch of armor and a bunch of tankiness that can just shred through your front line at the click of a button, right? And so teams probably still aren't willing to get off of that again. We're not really sure how much innovation these teams are going to be doing. Obviously, they haven't had quite as much practice as they might have liked. So
I feel like Lifeweaver Mercy is enough innovation for me. I think they can stop innovating.
Yeah, well, okay. If this is the innovation that they do, we don't want any more of it. You know?
Silly.
What are we thinking about?
Bit silly goofy right now, but nah. It looks like they've moved away from the shenanigans, back over to something standard for the most part. And just waiting to get back into the lobby, get everything sorted out. Unfortunately, tech issues are a staple of LAN. This one, no exception.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, then, I guess something else I wanted to ask of, obviously, these teams have been playing quite a lot of a rushdown style. Do you think that the rushdown is just kind of like the meta right now?
No.
That's the no. What would you think?
Meta right now is almost definitely Sigma comps, I would say. I think that right now he's just too versatile, because while Ryan can be very strong in certain situations, then it has its counters. It can really struggle into well-played Orisa compositions. Whereas Sigma doesn't really have that weakness. You can kind of just play Sigma literally everywhere, and to boot, I don't think he's the most complicated tank. Once you've got your resource management down, then kind of just plug and play with Sigma players. I think we saw Houston Outlaws, for example, come into the Overwatch League Grand Finals with a fresh tank, 2 weeks of practice, and just off the power of the Sigma. And yeah, it was plug and play. So I do think that teams should be playing Sigma if they have, you know, a totally balanced hero pool, if you have to go towards one composition. Reinhardt, I do like, but I do think it just has a little bit too many weaknesses. The Ana as well. Big nades can absolutely ruin the day of a Reinhardt composition when they try and get these big TPs in. Now, I do also think that with these Brawl compositions, we have to draw a very big line between Symmetra comps and non-Symmetra comps, because they are so different when you play them. You know, they're going to be so pivotal around the teleporter, when you have them up, when you don't, as well as the Bastion cycles, whereas with the Mei, the wall is the big thing you have to be scared of. Of course, there's no Symmetra to cheat the map control. You're just getting closer and closer as you can.
Yeah, strangely enough, it's a very weird point, because a lot of people kind of obviously people saw London playing and were like, okay, we're going to go in our ranked games. We're gonna be running the Sim Bastion and we're going to dominate. And they find they didn't, because oftentimes on
not me. I'm the GOAT.
I don't remember asking for your opinion. I don't remember asking, mate.
Okay, continue.
Point is, the idea of the Sim is that on maps where Brawl is already quite strong, Mei is oftentimes, yes, there's issues regarding hero pool, but oftentimes the chokes are made so that Mei is just a better pick. Chokes that are built for the wall, which are built for extra health, built for the icicles, all of that good stuff. The Sim helps on those non-traditional Brawl maps, and that's where you get, you know, the cursed images of, you know, Rhine comps on Gibraltar sort of situation. But when you're going to these traditional Brawl points, Sim can often struggle a little bit more than a Mei, because, well, you don't necessarily need the Sim to make those map-wide rotations. It helps a little bit, but you can get wherever you need to go with, you know, a decent speed boost.
I also think the big thing between the Symmetra and the Mei is that Symmetra is not all that survivable. 200 HP, or 225, I believe. You have the shields as well, but it's not the same as having the ice block and their 250. Mei will always be living much longer than a Symmetra. You require a lot less resources, and all those resources are things that you could be putting into your Reinhardt or into your Bastion, and those are players and those are characters who are much more likely to be the make or break in these Brawl matchups. So putting all those resources into the Symmetra, yeah, it'll work out sometimes, but that low charge beam, I mean, it's doing air. It's doing crickets, and unfortunately, that can be a bit of a weakness.
Clarify what you mean when you say doing crickets.
0 damage.
I've never heard that phrase used before.
Well, I mean, we're innovating too, behind the mic and in the server.
It's an interesting time, everyone. Innovation on stage, off stage, at the event. Obviously, this is an absolutely wonderful event happening. We have to give huge props to our production team right now, who are currently sorting through a couple of issues we will be getting through very quickly, but obviously huge thanks to them making this all possible. Obviously huge thanks to Intel as well, primary sponsor for this event, getting everything off the ground. And yeah, we're just trying to get things through very shortly, and hopefully we have it here. And I don't really know what Horrocks and Crash are talking about.
What they're saying. They are chatting was right now. We don't need to read it. Still the Torbjorn though. Aku, real pick. So sticking out a bit, that's a very passive turret early on. We'll see if it gets all the value.
Yeah, still both teams just going to be posturing for positioning here. There is going to be a TP, not really going anywhere, so a little bit of a misplace there. Never mind, they're going to be placing it onto the high ground. Shows what I know, right? Takuno, just that Bastion damage raining down from above.
Takuno.
And I feel like TREDGAMING, they just have a reliable strat of putting their Bastion on the high ground, and it works.
Yeah, if you are more than comfortable enough just letting Takuno do what they want, then yeah, I mean, just let bro go cook. And lovely TP onto the high ground. Yeah, takes care of everyone from Horrocks. NSE is not a joke. We went over to the Mei. They want to take the Brawl on Brawl. Mano a mano. We'll see if that is what works out for them.
Yeah, still the only difference here, the Sim versus the Mei. We've obviously spoken a lot about the theory. How about we put some of that into practice right now? Cheeky TP again onto the high ground, and again, they have to expect this by now. They're just going to TP the Bastion onto the high ground. Tred almost got the kill. Iska doing a little bit of get down Mr. President there, but even still, Bastion on the high ground how Horrocks NSE going to dislodge this?
I mean, on market, then yeah, the high ground is so pivotal, which is why teams very often play Genji for easy access. And right now, playing the Mei, they don't really have the ability to do the same. They could maybe try a Mei will boost. I'm not actually sure if you can go high enough or not, but either way, they need to think about how they're going to be engaging. And an early fight here does allow them to fight around the Mei wall, or the high ground, sorry.
Yeah, very early window going to be coming there from Condi. Actually, just going to be pushed past. There's a pin onto the point, but the point was actually taken there for TREDGAMING. So now it's a brawl to see who can get initial positioning, and it is an all-out brawl. But Takuno, so much work put in, has the turret form, but Iceka putting in a decent shift as well. Trades are so thin for either side, and that was the beat cancelled from Iceka. Is there such thing as an Ajax for a Rhine Shatter?
We'll call it a Rhine Jax for now, and
Rhine Jax.
pending.
We're still innovating, huh?
Yeah, still fighting, still brawling.
Yeah, we do have Jewel of the Fates playing as these Lucios just fly in the skybox. And that's going to be a little bit of a diff, unfortunately, as we do.
The final blow. How is that a diff? It's cheating.
Yeah.
That's invading the sanctity of the Jewel. But yeah, we're over to Gardens now. First cat for TREDGAMING, who are again in control, and Horrocks NSE is not a job trying to regroup.
Yeah, on this Ruins point here, it is going to be Takuno very early, and the Shatter is going to be coming through. There was a jump there. Iceka had the time to react, but unfortunately not going to be working out. And instead, SXJ is going to be putting all of Horrocks NSE on their backs, looking at the sky, and another clean fight here for TREDGAMING. And once again, they've got their Bastion on the high ground.
And again, no way of reaching this high ground at all means that Horrocks NSE is not job going to have to reroute and find a way where Takuno can't harangue them in the same way that they have been doing, because I mean, so far it's been absolutely bloody. Horrocks NSE is not a job. They've been hit in the face once too many times. Their nose is bleeding, and right now it looks like they're just going to keep on getting hits.
Yeah, Condi is going to be caught, however. That's so much sustain now gone. Iceka so free to just be swinging now onto the rest of TREDGAMING, especially now this turret form is gone from Takuno. If there's a time to walk forward, it is now. Sonda will be dropping the artillery, but Tred using that TP, trying to get themselves out, trying to get the team out, but Takuno not going to be enough anyway to escape. Horrocks NSE going to be winning out the first fight on this point, but this is a very scary point. Final fight territory here on this Ruins point.
Going to be a hot minute, I think, before a re-engage comes through, and Horrocks NSE is not a job. Finally, with some defensive positioning, we'll see what they can get going. It's going to be much harder for TREDGAMING to get any TP strats going. Yeah, Tred's gone over to the Mei. There's no more chicanery for Takuno on the high ground. Instead, just going to be some brawl on brawl, but Aku with the Blizzard could make this particular fight at least very, very quick.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking at that Blizzard as a big thing. There is going to be a beat coming out from Horrocks as well, so that could also help stave off any bad aggression there. SXJ going to be putting a couple members on the back, but there we have the beat. Going to be saving them life. Not the ideal use of it, but in the meantime, it does keep Horrocks NSE in the fight, and the Blizzard going to be turning them all into popsicles. Horrocks NSE is not a job, going to be taking this point here, and 70% is a really weird spot. Are TREDGAMING going to be able to get a clean retouch here?
They're going to be too far. So Takuno resets now. Yeah, you can't touch with your Bastion at all. They can try if they want, but realistically, they should be setting up
they're
to fight
backing
the main
off.
point.
I think maybe...
Wait, no, Captain Prash is going for the touch.
Yeah, Prash actually getting a bit sneaky there. Will be getting the touch in. Early artillery going to be coming through from Takuno. Not going to be finding about anything there. And Prash just, you know, putting in absolute shifts, stalling out this point, is going to eventually go down. But there's still a lot of damage here onto Horrocks NSE. Fight absolutely not over yet.
Rising is in a weird spot, but does have the shatter. Tred in the corner will be cleaned up, and yeah, the re-engage from TREDGAMING was nice to be able to get it, but unfortunately did not have any of the components that would have led to a fight win. So shut down pretty quick by Horrocks NSE is not a job. So we go 1-1 here on Flashpoint. Going towards the next, with TREDGAMING all taken down, then Horrocks NSE is not a job. They don't have to worry about the threat of a fight. They can rotate for free, going over to Palace. And again, the defensive positioning, high ground for Sonda on the Bastion. This is a pretty good scenario for Horrocks NSE is not a job to take another point here, go up here onto Ravat and put TREDGAMING on the back foot.
Yeah, both these teams going to be relatively neutral here. TREDGAMING are actually going to be pushing onto this high ground, so it's an interesting gambit, you know. You want to keep someone on the high ground, but you also want someone to touch the point, because any amount of percentage on Flashpoint is so crucial. You cannot afford to give up any of the point. Mei Blizzard is going to be dropped in. No one going to be frozen up by that, but Iceka is so split. Do TREDGAMING recognize this? Not quite, but they don't really need to, because without that tank presence, they're happy to just walk onto the back line. Shatter is absolutely huge. Are there going to be any kills through the beat? Just about. Prash is going to be caught, but that might be all here. The beat the beat there, not quite saving the life, and another shatter. These Rhines are absolutely popping off. Horrocks still just about alive, just had some of that overhealth to live. Trades are going to be coming through now. Still so close between these teams. Horrocks NSE's not job are going to be regrouping here, but TREDGAMING have accrued so much percentage on this point already.
Yeah, 50 to be specific, and Horrocks NSE not a job from the outside looking inwards. Found a target with the Bastion who gets the lamp, but not the final blow.
Yeah, you're not necessarily going to be getting kills at Bastion ult, so getting a lamp there, pretty decent deal as well. Going to be used here to save the life of AQ, stuck in the corner. Pin does come through from Ice-Kun, not really going to be catching onto anyone there, but what is going to be catching is AQ's Blizzard, turning TREDGAMING nice and frozen, nice and
4K.
Yeah, clean 4K there from AQ. Definitely going to be clipping that one, putting it on Twitter.
And I mean, why not? And finally, defense for Horrocks NSE is not a job. TREDGAMING, the one fight territories, and they're not going to be too upset about that. Haven't been able to get a retake going before though. Horrocks NSE have been the only team to actually get any retakes going, so we'll see if that trend continues. Still early days, but a window fire strike combo shreds the HP of TREDGAMING.
Yeah, but they're just going to be backing out. They're just going to be backing up out of this. Takuno also investing an ultimate here to try and maybe relieve a little bit of pressure. Just still trading. SXJ actually going for a wild pin. Horrocks maybe being caught a little bit too ahead there. Maybe some of that retirement coming through, and yeah. Takuno, too much overwhelming damage, shredding the front line, and surely there's no way that Horrocks NSE retouch this.
No chance in hell. And yeah, Horrocks is not maybe too happy about getting killed there and staggered again.
Another stagger, and that's so bad because losing your Lucio on these flashpoint maps, especially trying to get to the next point,
Oh, nice play from Horrocks NSE is not a job. Actually, they all run to spawn, and they use the spawn TP mechanic to get away from TREDGAMING.
Yeah, something that was actually fairly recently added, and so definitely being taken full advantage of here from Horrocks NSE. Pushing through here from TREDGAMING, but Horrocks NSE looks like they're actually going to be able to get the point out there. SXJ did go for a shatter, didn't really get a whole lot. Horrocks still caught out in the meantime, and this is what you're talking about. Don't take these fights on point, take them mid-rotation, because it is absolute chaos here. Iska just about going to be dying out. Tread here, it's a duel. Captain Prash going to be getting a bit of a support diff, and off the back of that, it might be TREDGAMING taking the point. Positioning is certainly a bit better for them, but this is too close to call right now.
Yeah, so far away from the point, but yeah, they will be able to get on it. Instead, Horrocks NSE is not a job. They all just regroup, and they will be there a smidgen faster. Horrocks there with the taxi. Captain Prash, of course, still on the point. So for a couple seconds at least, they will have numbers advantage, I believe. Blizzard from AQ, very, very scary. And Window instead going to be the early pulse tool.
Oh, the wall actually going to be blocking off the Blizzard there for a bit, but it's not going to matter. Is still going to be catching up onto the Mei there, frozen up. Sonda going to be taken down to Kuno there. Probably the more important pick than Horrocks there. You take a trade of your Lucio over a Bastion any day of the week. There's the Shatter, not going to be getting through onto anything, and Captain Prash is going absolutely crazy in the back.
Yeah, normally you would take that trade of Lucio for Reinhardt, but Horrocks is 90% to the beat. Stayed alive in that fight, almost definitely would have had it, and that is a tool that definitely could have swung this fight another way. So right now, TREDGAMING looking like they're a fight and change away from taking Suravas in relatively dominant fashion with just a singular slip-up.
Yeah, only the one fight lost out. Takuno going to be buying some more time here. That's what you want to do with this artillery fight. But Sonda actually, yeah, just going to be timing it perfectly. Wall in this room could be absolutely lethal, but Tread going very aggressive. Still had the ice block, an opportunity to live there. Horrocks NSE going to be getting a couple kills. Are they going to be able to shut this point? Just about. Horrocks going to be the hero needed to touch this point at the last second. Maybe bring this one all the way back here for Horrocks NSE, but it's going to be a hell of an effort for that.
Yeah, Horrocks invested the beat there, and I'm not a choice I'm massively in love with. I think it was not necessary in the 5v3, but we'll see if that's a choice that comes back to bite them, as TREDGAMING right now only have the Shatter to play with, the Blizzard coming up close as well. And as I say, that Condi building ever closer to the window, so a massive ult advantage. NSE is not going to have to do it dry.
Yeah, SXJ going to be having the Shatter as well. Window out early, but it is going to be basically counteracted. Tread using the Blizzard, clears the point, jumping Shatter around the corner. Yeah, you got some style points, but you didn't get anyone on the floor, mate. Unlucky there. Going to be pushed back now. So much damage is going to be coming in. This point is so brawly. Both Ryans going to be stunned up. A lot of damage going to be coming through. Point is almost taken here. Trades still coming out between these teams. May for a May, Ryan for a Ryan. Sonda going crazy. Sonda catching 3, saving this fight here at the very last minute.
That was fantastically played by Horrocks NSE. Is not a job. A brilliant disengage. They knew they had ult disadvantage, so they drop off just far enough that TREDGAMING's ults don't find any value whatsoever, just buy them a little bit of space, and they re-engage when they know their ults are advantageous for them. They win with just the window, and Sonda's artillery form now is going to make this walk to point so much harder.
Now it's Sonda's turn to be buying time here. Takuno doesn't have an artillery strike of their own, so there's no risk of being traded out. It's going to be waited out. Are they even going to touch this? No, they're just going to opt to position themselves nice and neatly to try and get onto the last point here. This one is for all the marbles.
I do also want to shout out Aku, who got a brilliant May wall to get Isaka out of a hot spot in that previous fight. Was walled off in the Blizzard, and another May wall boosting the Reinhardt over the first one allowed Isaka to survive. So fantastic out of the May of Horrocks NSE is not a job, and we're going here on to Temple.
Yeah. Heading out here. There is this shatter here from Iska. Nothing really to match it out. Captain Prash does have a beat in case things get a little bit hairy.
Ooh, ice block out.
Yeah, very early ice block there. So Horrocks NSE going to have to play a little careful. Doesn't look like they're going to play careful. Oh, they're going to jump in, pop the Blizzard down, turn SXJ into a cryogenically frozen German specimen right now. And yeah, beat is out. Captain Prash going to be getting bullied out of the lobby apparently. Hammer on the head and then pinned up instantly. Late pick onto Fate could be a big deal here. That's a lot of sustain gone for Horrocks NSE, but Iska doesn't care. Just going to toss a fire strike at your face. And yeah, even if they have to back off eventually, Horrocks NSE, they do take that point. That is crucial percentage here.
Takuno, though, fighting back in the next. Sonda going down early. It's already a pretty poor start. Horrocks NSE is not a job. You're using the beat to try and sustain through it.
Yeah, trying to get some value on this point. Circumvent the May wall by going over it with your artillery fire. Is it going to get a lot? Yes, it is going to force out a lamp here from Fate in the very, very back. Dueling out Captain Prash. Going to be winning that one out. Captain Prash, a little bit too big for their britches there.
Yeah, and Prash has had a rough time with these last couple fights.
TREDGAMING going to be taking this one, finally accruing a bit of percentage.
That they are 10%, so 45 for Horrocks NSE is not a job, not doing too badly at least. And in the re-engage, I mean, it's been bloody for both teams. Both are going to have ults, both are missing some crucial ones. And it's going to be a very awkward fight, but Tred's flanking with the Blizzard.
Yeah, there's the flank, there's the wall, comes through. Sonda is just going to be caught out, and this is the aggression that we want to see. This is TREDGAMING taking the initiative once again, just like we saw on King's Row, really forcing Horrocks and NSE into horrific positions. And where is SXJ going?
Bro's on an adventure, for real, for real.
Yeah, this is, if I had a nickel for every time SXJ went on an adventure this series, I have 2 nickels, which is, you know, it's weird that I have 2. Shatter from behind, catching onto everyone! SXJ, you absolute madman, putting in a shift here in Kettering today. This is why we need more Overwatch at Epic LAN.
We're at 15% now, 10%. Horrocks NSE is not a job. I don't believe they can touch. Only Horrocks, who's still alive, is going to be looking for the OT, and those skates betray his presence. Will be able to get a touch going, but taken down. Overtime Wick burns down, and that's Suravasa. TREDGAMING up 2-1.
These teams are so evenly matched. They have been clutching, grasping, squeezing, clawing for every single map, every single fight that they had to take. But TREDGAMING showing maybe just a little bit more dominance here, as we do see AQ getting this play of the game on the May. Likely just going to be a huge Blizzard coming through. And yeah, this has been phenomenal gameplay. Both teams have clearly gotten a lot of reps on this rush style. But it's quite interesting because, you know, after this, we are going to be going to an escort map. Not one that traditionally sees a lot of Rhine play.
I mean, yeah, but when we're seeing all this right now, we might as well just see escort. I mean, why not?
Well, this is the opportunity for the sim to be played, as we were discussing before.
That is true, and very curious to see where teams take it next. Escort, as we've just heard, not where you see too much Reinhardt, and the options that jump to mind maybe aren't going to be particularly optimal. You know, your circuit rails, your... Actually, I did hear some people, and I won't name names because they're insane, but they do think that on Watchpoint Gibraltar, that Ryan comps are optimal. But we won't see that for just a couple seconds because we will have a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we return, the finale of Horrocks NSE is not a job versus TREDGAMING. You don't want to miss this.
Just waiting here for you. I just want your presence. You got me feeling blue. And don't keep me waiting. Don't leave me in this way. Got me going crazy, and I don't wanna wait. I just wanna make you see. I feel like I'm in heaven when you are here with me. And don't keep me waiting. Don't leave me in this way. Got me going crazy, and I don't wanna wait. I just want your loving. Come and give me something. I just want your loving. Come and give me something.
I just want your loving.
I just want your loving.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Overwatch 2 at Epic LAN 40 in Kettering. Horrocks NSE not a job versus TREDGAMING. Again, every single map matters. That being said, right now it is 2-1 to TREDGAMING, so for the points that they're trying to get in this series, they're doing a pretty good job, but it's been a very hardly contested series thus far.
Yeah, definitely close between these two teams. Horrocks NSE is not a job. They're firing on all cylinders right now, but unfortunately TREDGAMING just look absolutely unstoppable. Tagged by a couple. one of the favorites to win the tournament. So, yeah, it's in some ways unsurprising they are leading here by just a smidgen. Still, though, it's a pretty competitive playing field for most of these teams. So, definitely room for some upsets. Sorry, definitely room for some of these games to go all the way. And heading into Escort right now, still a possibility that this could go to 2-2. So remember, even if it doesn't, then we will be seeing every single map back what we've just seen, of course. So we're going to be ending on push. So 5 maps every game. These players will be really tired by the end of it.
That's what we're here for, right? Here to play a lot of Overwatch, have a lot of fun. The environment here is great, everyone's just having a great time. Everyone's just happy to be here, with the adage of, play your best, play your heart out, play it like with Mercy or whatever backline you want,
Of course.
And anything that you can do to secure the bag at the end of the day.
Yeah. All of these first games today, as another reminder, are just to use for seeding purposes. For the double elimination knockout bracket we have tomorrow, so there's not too much today, While every map does matter at the end of the day, even if you get the worst possible seed, then you're just going to be delaying playing against the best team should you want to go a little bit deeper. So I think these two teams, right now, they kind of limit testing. They're figuring out what other teams want to play, how strong they reckon each other are. And it could essentially use this as extra scrim time, even if it's taking so much time. So try some new stuff. Because at the end of the day, it won't cost you the pressure games. When you really need to get your skates to play, your hearts out, those are all tomorrow. So today, it's a little bit of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're noticing in the teams. They're both still trying to refine their style. There's been some phenomenal play, and then there's also been a little bit of room to improve from both of them. I can't see anymore. It just makes me sad the more that I think about it, except for the fact that it was cooking for quite a while.
It did work, yeah.
And then Horrocks NSE decided to turn on their monitors, and it...
Had to do it.
Yeah,
Had to do it.
It helped just a little bit. What we were just discussing before the break, so both these teams have been playing the Reinhardt, and we're going to be going to maps which are Escort, which have never been particularly favoured for Rhine. And just before we went away, we were just thinking about, well, how do the teams circumvent that? Something tells me it's not by swapping off Rhine.
I just keep playing Reinhardt. Yeah. Go Reinhardt, go Gibraltar, full send it. We're already in Silly Town. We are not leaving Silly Season. We might as well make it the silliest season possible.
Yeah, first day of practice. Obviously, everyone had quite a nice time yesterday, getting acquainted. If you didn't catch the opening ceremony on stream on the main Epic Land channel, obviously do go check that out because it was a great time for everyone involved. But yeah, it's a whole lot of fun down here. Just looking for some of the best Overwatch talent that the current UK and EU scene has to offer.
Yeah, we are majority UK here, of course. The only import I could think of is Sonder. But other than that, yeah, it's mainly just the best and brightest of the UK Overwatch scene. Or those who haven't travelled to BlizzCon already. Of course, we are missing some rather notable players from the UK. But yeah, it's for the first Epic LAN tournament with Overwatch, it's a pretty decent turnout. And I'm just so excited that we're able to be here on LAN. We're able to have all these games in front of us. And I can walk over, have a pint with one of the players mid-game, Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. But
get some loaded fries, chat about life, something like that. But it's just wonderful time. Obviously, all the players are working their hardest. Obviously, we've said it before, and we're being looked at right now as we discuss it. But we do want to be obviously giving lots of props to everyone working behind the scenes on this. Everyone involved with the just the operations of things, the production of things, especially observing all of that. They're the ones who are getting all of this content to you. They're the ones who have set up this entire event. They are the unsung heroes of this entire thing. Our job is to sit here, bring the action to you, look nice on a camera, which you're doing an exceptional job of, by the way. But at the same time, there's so much work behind the scenes which doesn't go recognised. So obviously, big thanks to everyone who's helping get this to you.
They are actually behind the scenes, by the way. They're literally behind the camera.
Oh yeah.
We've got Tex and we've got Lottie.
Yeah,
but,
they're just chilling.
They're dancing right now.
Did you want to say anything to the stream? Hi. They say hello. That's not a very interesting thing to say. We're the ones who think of the interesting things to say. Don't worry about it.
Push. I mean, this is the brawl push map. You literally cannot play off angles. You're gonna play brawl. We're going to see Reinhardt from both the teams, very likely the Mei variant. I don't think there's much room for variation, to be entirely honest, unless TREDGAMING have invented an even weirder strat.
I believe there's been a little bit of discourse about the glass on Colosseo. Would you happen to know anything about that?
It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there.
It just shouldn't be there.
That's all I shall say about that.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, absolutely nothing unexpected here. Once again, we do run into the same thing of when you're running a traditionally brawly point, you know, again, TREDGAMING still going to be favoring the sim here. Obviously, it has worked out for them. Last map, they did actually move over, put Tred on the Mei for a bit, but both teams just kind of still figuring out their footing in exactly which DPS they want to be playing. Rest of the comp, there's a bit less room for interpretation there. And interesting that TREDGAMING are actually going to be taking an outside route here.
Yeah, they're going on the long ramp. I think when they are running this Symmetra, they know for a fact that they're going to be losing those straight-up brawl trades. And that means they have to go for weird off angles, they have to go for flanks, they have to put Horrocks NSE as not job on the back foot, and they've already flipped the map.
Yeah, and again, flipping the map is so key when you're playing these compositions. There is going to be a TP. Interesting, Takuno doesn't actually take it, so I think there was maybe a little bit of an attempt for a trick play, you know, make TREDGAMING look one way, shoot from the other direction. But right now, they're so free, and that's a whole lot of damage in onto Iska. Great work there from TREDGAMING to push them all down. SXJ does go down to Fate, but still not going to be for a whole lot here. Takuno more than having to clean it all up.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the map flip does work out well, and stepping a smidgen out of line did Sonder. TREDGAMING able to punish. They do win the first fight, and that's going to be a big advantage here on push. Going to be just gaining all that distance, and remember, however further you push it than your opponents, and they have to push back that space before they gain any progress on their own wall. So big snowball mechanic there, and one that hopefully, for the sake of Horrocks NSE, is not a job they don't get punished for too much.
Yeah, and that's why push can be such a punishing game mode. The engage came in and the TP actually came through, so great disengage there from TREDGAMING. Horrocks NSE are stealing the robot, however, so TREDGAMING maybe just delaying the inevitable here just a little bit. Only seeing if they can re-push onto this one.
And SXX is probably taking a lot of damage. You're going to have to play slow to really wait for that to come back.
And this is exactly the issue you have. Now it's Horrocks NSE who are flipping out. They're the ones pulling the bot away. SXJ being forced into a really strange position here. Does have a window, so more healing does come out. And now they're just stealing the bot back. This is just a slapstick comedy if I've ever seen it. They're just stealing the bot back and forth, back and forth. Neither team really permanently taking it. Window is going to be coming through on this side angle, however, but that is a great wall and an even better shatter. That is 4 members of Horrocks NSE going to be kicked onto their butts right there, and TREDGAMING just cleaning it all up.
Yeah, the hammer hits the ground, and so do the rest of Horrocks NSE. Is no job right now here on Colosseo. I mean, TREDGAMING are cooking. All the rotations because they have a correct play on. Yeah, the stagger onto Aku is absolutely brutal. They're going to have such a big advantage here. The forward spawn's almost a lock in. Oh, I'll be a little bit worried if I was Horrocks NSE is not a job. You know, the previous 3 maps, they were pretty close. TREDGAMING did have a small upper hand in them, but here it looks one-sided.
Yeah, forward spawn's going to be taken here, and that is so brutal. Honestly, once forward spawns are gone, you can mostly just kiss your odds of winning the map goodbye, because so much punishment. Great group there, but Sonder going to be making the moves. Okay, back on the high ground. We see you, Sonder. A little bit cheeky there. Pressure going to be coming out onto the front line, onto SXJ. Takuno pops the artillery. Not going to be catching anyone. Horrocks wants to get aggressive, get a bit antsy here. Pop the beat in, pop a Mei wall, but instead Crash going to be countering with their own.
Takuno!
Takuno on the side, taking advantage of everyone being all lined up. But the trades here are really good here for Horrocks NSE, as Horrocks, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the namesake of the team, going to be cleaning things up here at the very end. Yeah, this is a decent stagger here onto Captain Brash. I don't know why they named the team after Horrocks, though.
Because he's the man.
I mean, they also named TREDGAMING after Tred.
Yeah.
So,
we have 2 eponymous teams. I like to imagine that the team was named and they just picked him up because he was called that. But, you know, I should probably stop imagining things for a while.
What is my man waffling about?
Bastionalt, though, won't catch anything. Just some damage onto SXJ's shield, a smidgen onto Takuno as well. Battle again in the middle. This last time we've seen these fights, then TREDGAMING have been winning them out. Horrocks Gaming, they're going to have to change.
Yeah, TP going to be broken up there, so trying to circumvent any chance of a cheeky little flank there from TREDGAMING. Nice window, going to be matched out, and you have to expect the shatter there. It did get expected there, so nice play there from Iska to hold down the front line. Horrocks, chill out. Chill, going to be hit with a fire strike to the face there. TREDGAMING actually trading this one out. Not entirely sure how he managed to win that fight out after such a bad start.
Wizardry, I guess.
With a dream.
No, wizardry.
Oh, with both, why
Both
not?
of them, really, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, what was a good situation for Horrocks is only converted into 3 meters 30. Not far at all, and while they do have a positional advantage here, that's quickly fixed with the Symmetra teleporter.
Yeah, Horrocks NSE just going to be dropping off the high ground here just to disengage from that. Takuno wants to keep up the pressure with this artillery strike coming out. Not going to be catching a whole lot. However, both these teams going to get nice enclosed, going to get very well acquainted with each other. And Isuka going to make SXJ very acquainted with that pin there against the wall. And yeah, Horrocks NSE likely going to be winning this one out off the back of that pick. Though more time is being burnt here for TREDGAMING, and being in the lead, that's huge.
Shasta connects from Isuka, only stuns the one, but won't get any kills just yet. But yeah, the aggressive push comes through onto TREDGAMING, and while it is being traded back and forth, the upper hand is most definitely in the favor of Horrocks NSE. Is not a job. Captain Brash going down. SXJ needs to sprint for the hills and will escape. Now, we have to take a look at the ultimate scenario because that's such a make or break thing in these brawl trades, especially. Both support ults for Horrocks NSE is not a job. Much the same for TREDGAMING in just a second. The Blizzard as well for AQ is going to be the big tool, though. No tool to try and shut that down. Yes, Captain Brash can beat it, but will that be enough to sustain? If this Blizzard lands, Horrocks NSE has no job, can get some progress for real here.
Yeah, early wall is going to be coming through from Tread, and that is going to... It's actually going to work. SXJ going to be the one who gets caught out. Maybe pinning in a little aggro there. Sonda just applying some pressure here. Window not really going to get any kills, but it is going to force a lot of space for Horrocks NSE, and space is what they need a lot of right now. And is that a cheeky Maywall onto the high ground?
That it is. It's really nice. It allows them to challenge the window, but Takuno unfortunately challenges Horrocks and gets the final blow. And with that pick, Dominoes, they do begin to fall. Traded back and forth on the site, but unfortunately with the numbers disadvantage, Horrocks NSE has no job, looks to be losing out another fight here.
Yeah, Horrocks NSE is going to try and try and disengage the entire team here, and TREDGAMING still pushing this point. Remember that Horrocks NSE for about half of when they're pushing the point, they're not actually getting any progress, as we have a very early Bastion ult coming out here. And Condi gets caught with that?
That's a big goof. That's a really big mistake there. Could have charged up the boots to try and jump it, but instead doesn't. Catches the projectiles with his face, and that allows so much for Horrocks NSE is no job. But look at all the space that TREDGAMING have to give up. Yeah. It's absolutely free for Horrocks right now.
Bastion Ultimate is not something that you should be going down to. Even if you have to get the lamp forced as a BAP, so be it. You can at least continue to fight another day, put in the damage, put in the healing, but that was very unfortunate. Takuno trying to achieve some similar value there. This time it is just going to be jumped out by Fate. No issues there. Captain Prash, both teams going to be trading the beats out. AQ popping Blizzard on the point as well. Is it going to get anything? No. TREDGAMING pressured back. Shatter down from SXJ. Blocked up by Isuka. Great play there. And SXJ instead, once again, being bullied out. SXJ just varies so much between, you know, dealing all of the damage or taking all the damage. And right now, it's a very poor day.
That it is. TREDGAMING right now, after losing Captain Prash, they're looking to try and give up space again, and Horrocks NSE is not job. They're getting closer and closer to equaling the progress of TREDGAMING. It starts out as a very one-sided map, because quickly getting closer and closer.
Yeah, Window does actually come out from an off angle from Condi, but it's a little too much for an off angle. There's not really a way to get there, and actually going to be pinned out. Condi down now, and now Horrocks NSE, they're going to be getting the forward spawns themselves. They're not quite going to be able to push it all the way to the distance. There is a chance for TREDGAMING to retouch this, but you do not, you know, get your forward spawns taken after 2 minutes and then proceed to push it all the way back. That just doesn't happen on this
They're
mode.
getting cooked right now. Horrocks NSE is not a job are looking so strong right now. Now that they are back, now they're in the swing of things.
Through. Yeah, touch has to come through here. Not quite just about going to be able to happen, but it is a desperate brawl on the point. A lot of damage coming through onto the Horrocks NSE backline, but more damage coming through onto Prash. More damage coming out from Sonda. Who's going to stop him? Nobody will. And Horrocks NSE, they've taken the lead on this point. This is a disaster for TREDGAMING.
A minute left and so much distance for TREDGAMING to make up. It's going to have to be in overtime if the cap comes through, and they just keep pushing the block closer and closer. More distance. The TREDGAMING are going to have to close. It's looking like Horrocks NSE is not a job. They're teed up to equalize the series here. And Takuno going down makes it even easier.
Yeah, Takuno just dying to just kind of dying there before the fight even begins. Absolutely not what you want happening here for TREDGAMING. Getting absolutely smoked here. Window out here is going to get Maywalled off quite nicely. Isuka going to be looking for these fire strikes to get those one-shots off, but not going to happen, unfortunately. TREDGAMING a little too wise for that one for the time being. But yeah, honestly, you're happy here. Just burn time off the clock if you're Horrocks NSE. You don't really care too much, but they don't want time off the clock. They just want the entire map completion.
And it's looking they could get it right now. I mean, there's about 30 meters left to get. The respawns will be here, but they can just hold the spawn door. And look, that's exactly where they're going. Isuka is touching the spawn door.
Kuno has to switch.
Yeah, it's to try and get a touch. Will it even connect? Yeah, Tracer coming through the right door, but folded pretty quick. Ryan Penny onto the point as well. There's the window to overfire the point.
Shots from SXJ, only catching on to AQ, but dying in the process here. This is a disaster. TREDGAMING snatching defeat from the jaws of victory here almost. They were so in control of the map, but something switched. Something flip in the head of Horrocks NSE is not a job, because they are just going through with this. Solo shatter there onto SXJ in the end, and Horrocks NSE, what are you doing, man?
They're on fire right now. It looks like they just can't get a quick start into games. They just can't hit the ground running, but once they have time, they can acclimatize to their location. Then, I mean, it looks like a different team. You compare first half Horrocks, second half Horrocks.
Who are these guys?
Leagues apart.
Who are they?
Exactly.
they can only be good, like, there's like a little timer, you know. After 3 minutes, they decide to start playing Overwatch, probably. Simple as that.
It looks like.
They just can't do well unless some time has passed. They get warmed up in the game, you know.
Every game.
Simple as that. Yeah, and now it's 2-2 in these series, so both these teams actually even on points now. You know, the prediction that both these teams be facing each other in the finals, if we end up getting that, that would be an absolute banger of a series. I already know it.
Yeah,
if this tells us anything.
Horrocks NSE is not a draw versus TREDGAMING so far. Has been absolutely electric back and forth, both in maps and inside them. I mean, if the rest of the field of competition is this close, though, I mean, this Overwatch tournament at Epic Land, this could be one to watch. And early days, yeah, I know, but there's seriously plenty more games throughout the day. I believe myself and Eka, we will be taking you through a second one after this one ends. And after that, Latark and Panda Richie will be closing out the day. So 3 games will be streamed today. I believe we might have a double stream in the next game, actually. Yeah. But either way, plenty of action for you, especially with this 5-map format. We haven't even needed to use it, though, because it's just been back and forth.
I mean, if you're thinking about a regular series, then yeah, this would be going to 5 maps all the way. Why don't we treat it like such? Obviously, maybe it's not going to matter in the long haul, but these teams so evenly matched together, putting on such a great show, I'd say this is just a series at this point. This has been phenomenal play from both sides.
Yeah, really hard to disagree, and Escort will be the decider. I think we spoke about it a little bit just after the break, what we thought we'd see, what we'd like to see, and
it's Ryan.
Yeah, I want to see Ryan on Jib. Ryan on Jib, get it going, start a petition, email your MP, I don't know.
What are you on about?
Ryan on Jib.
Remember that time on the first map where they were playing, you know, Orisa and Sigma and other dishonest characters like that? Yeah. Like bad, dishonest tank characters?
They just wanted to show us how boring the game would be if they played not Reinhardt. And now we're on Ryan. All the stops are out.
They just switched everything up.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, as both teams, it seems like, so obviously that was TREDGAMING's pick, and they are going to be going to Dorado next. I mean...
Not what I expected, but I'll take it.
It's not Jib.
It's not Jib, no, but it's almost...
Email your MP right now.
Get a petition going.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, Dorado, as we well know, a map with some very oppressive high grounds to deal with. I don't think these teams care. I think they've just kind of locked in. Yeah, they've just kind of locked into like the honourable Rhine duel, and they don't plan to swap off of it anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know? They don't care that, oh, what's this, the Diva to control high grounds or Sigma puck? Nah.
Yeah, we haven't seen a single dive character so far. That's kind of impressive, actually.
Well, Dive has actually, it's interesting because after the introduction of Alari, Dive did kind of fall out the meta quite a little bit, and it seems like obviously when Alari came in, exactly when Alari came in is when we saw a move towards these kind of more pokey styles, or more like these kind of Orisa poke comps, where it was like the Orisa was more just to tank damage, not really to do a whole lot else, and let the other members of the team just deal damage from a distance. And now it looks like we're getting the rush out again. So meta's changing every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe Warwick or esports organization going to innovate after this match just well enough.
I mean, they also have a game going on right now that is off stream, but we'll try and catch up on it as soon as quickly so we can bring you at least an idea of what's going on outside of that. But, you know, we're not like Counter-Strike. We can just pay attention to every single broadcast, and every single broadcast can be streamed. So that is one of the advantages of having a smaller tournament, at least as of now. Starting off on the offense will be TREDGAMING. Horrocks, NSE is not a job, have not been astounding on their attacks, on their defenses, sorry, throughout the series, but they have a chance to turn it around here. We've mentioned how they seem to warm up throughout the map, but a hot start here would be so valuable.
Yeah, I think this is where we start the 5-minute timer for Horrocks NSE to be better at the game.
Yeah, I think
we do. We can start it up now. I think you actually are going to start a timer, aren't you? And then after that, it's going to be an absolute train. I'm not sure if this is what TREDGAMING actually want to run here. This would be an entirely different look from them. Why is Tred on tank?
Why is Tred on tank? They are...
Cooking.
They're cooking, yeah.
They're cooking.
I think they were off-rolling all the previous games, and they've only went to their actual roles now.
Well,
I think.
Well, if they go into their actual roles, and this is an entirely different lookout from them, I guess this team is as flexible as they are strong, you know? So there we have it. And yeah, it's actually going to be a full kind of dive setup coming out here from TREDGAMING. The Hanzo, the Echo, so not necessarily hard dive, but just more, you know, high-power DPS, yeah, take angles, overwhelm, just take angles and overwhelm from a distance.
Yeah, that's what they are going to look to do. We're going to see if that's something they can effectively exploit. I think something that Horrocks NSE is not going to quickly realize that they don't have as many good targets to engage on. Your Hanzo, your Ana, but everyone else very slippery will be able to escape. Right now, Echo's caught out.
They're actually just going to be escaping there, so good play there from SXJ to at least have the wherewithal to get out of that situation. And this is the issue that you see with Reinhardt on all these points. Just kind of sat here like, you know, antied up, so much damage, shield going down. What is Rein really meant to do here? And eventually, yeah, backline's just going to fall because, you know, the big German hammer man, as big as that hammer is, doesn't have a whole lot of range on it. Simple as that.
And shut down pretty quick. I think that TREDGAMING have outcomped Horrocks NSE is not a job right now. They no longer want to be on or will play the Reinhardt. Instead, they play the counter comp. And yeah, Horrocks NSE is not a job.
Yeah, can we get some booze going for the dishonorable non-Rhine composition?
We need to dock them points because of it.
Real.
Now, the duplicate from SXJ could be actually pretty big here. Copy onto the BAP, onto the Mei. Both could really shut down what Horrocks NSE is not a job is looking to do. More scary, though, is just what the competition can do in the neutral. The amount of damage that you're going to take as a Reinhardt or as a Brawl composition while having basically no ability to fire back. I mean, your only hit scan is your Baptiste, for crying out loud. So on these long-range angles, then TREDGAMING right now uncontested.
Yeah, honestly, it's just a case of can you teleport onto a target like Takuno using the Symmetra? But right now, Horrocks NSE not a job. They just kind of have to sit in this small room, and yeah, what else they have to do? Eventually, they're going to have to get a bit aggro, but they can't really do it onto the D.Va. Too tanky for that. Too many angles, too much range here for TREDGAMING, and Horrocks NSE, they're just getting absolutely cooked here. Tred has gone into this small room and is going to get microwaved just a little bit, but happy to pop the ultimate and actually catching 2 in the small room. Fight was already won, so just a little bit of a flex there, but it certainly worked out.
Yeah, just resetting using the bomb. And yeah, TREDGAMING absolutely rolling the cart right now, closer and closer to the end of seconds. Oh, we just get flashbanged here in the studio. No, Horrocks NSE is not a job. They're going for a rotation through the bank side, and they have the ultimate to try and get a fight here, but they're closing down the distance on Dorado. It's just so rough.
But now the TP's been used onto the high ground, all TREDGAMING are able to just disengage from it. So now Horrocks NSE, they have to wait at least a couple seconds now before they can actually fight things. Captain Prash is actually going Battle Mercy, pulling out the Glock, not quite going to be making anything work with it. And SHA actually going to make in the BAP. Actually going to be duping the BAP. I quite like that, actually. Get some damage healing onto the high ground. Take an off angle with it. And is going to be BAP diffing Fate in the dupe. And this has been very one-sided for TREDGAMING thus far.
Yeah, that it has. Cap comes through. 4 minutes, almost 5 on the time bank. And TREDGAMING right now, I mean, what else can you say? Absolutely on fire. This angles comp they've swapped to, it looks clean, it looks polished. And Horrocks NSE is not a job, have no answers. Honestly, if I were them, I would be thinking about a switch, even though you're going to be more comfortable on the right composition. I just think his angles come far too good against it. I don't think that you have the ability to answer consistently. I don't think you have the ability to shut it down consistently. You have to wait for a mistake, and while this rotate through the high ground is nice, all it's going to cause is a slight relocation.
And consistently is the key word. There is counterplay to TREDGAMING's comp. You can undo what they're working with, but it's so difficult, and it may not just be worth the effort. That is such a rough dragon. For Horrocks, NSE is not a job. All in the small corridor. Going to be caught out. Captain Prash getting a little bit bloodthirsty here, getting the pick on the mercy of all things. This has been just an undeniable bad time here for NSE is not a job.
Yeah, the speedrun looking very, very likely. There will at least be an ability to touch, very likely. They at least can't Dragon Strike the spawn to make even that a non-possibility. But other than that, pretty much nothing in favor of Horrocks. NSE is not a job.
Yeah, there are a couple of ultimates that they do have to work with here. There will be a shatter here from Iska in case it wants to come out. It can come onto any target. There's no shielding, but Tread in the back going to be getting through, tossing the bomb in from way downtown. Is Tread going to be getting onto Horrocks in the meantime? So things just about things trying to work out here, but still, TREDGAMING, they have the picks, they have the angles, and that is TREDGAMING just speed running this one.
Yeah, Captain Prash calling for a pause actually. So got another breakdown in the meantime. But yeah, 3.5 minutes. I mean, again, TREDGAMING on the attack, absolutely on fire.
Yeah, we are going to be having a little bit of a pause up here while we just sort through a couple of things. I mean, what really is the counterplay? So when you're running the Rhine composition, you obviously have an inherent disadvantage against anything that just takes angles like through you. What really can you do to work this through?
You need to be able to swap to a comp that takes angles better, essentially. While they're going to be very strong, but setting up multiple angles, you can go something like a dive and try and win out the trades. And I would quite like that, just fully diving perhaps the Hanzo, fully diving the Echo with like Sombra Tracer, Wrecking Ball, Doomfist, anything like that would be a great option. Another would be going for like full double sniper, full poke with the Sigma, trying to win out the Trulls. But, I mean, again, it's going to be pretty disadvantaged if you do that very, very rough, and it's going to be very easy for those flanks to come through. So Horrocks NSE is not a job, unfortunately, but they've seen a rock and a hard place. So TREDGAMING right now looking very, very comfortable. So if I would like to see the Doomfist out of Horrocks NSE is not a job, but I would not call it likely.
Yeah, but you also have to contend with what is comfortable being played. More so to the case of if you have to stick on the Reinhardt, because it doesn't look like Horrocks NSE are going to make the adaptations. Obviously, we could be wrong here. They could come out and we see, that Iska has like the world's most nuts Doomfist and just absolutely dominates TREDGAMING. But if you're playing the Rhine comp, yes, you're at an inherent disadvantage. Is there anything you can do to make up for it?
Play perfectly.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Ideally,
play better. It's rough, but that's it. Unfortunately. It's a very, very rough thing to try and attempt to accomplish when you are just playing a composition that is disadvantaged. At the end of the day, you just have to play better. And I just think it's too much of a rough matchup right now. Right now, Dorado looking like it's running away from Horrocks. NSE is not a job, though they have fought well then.
Yeah.
3 guesses.
Yeah,
then.
thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for the patience. We are currently working through just a couple of small issues. We should be getting back to you as soon as we can. We're having some headset issues from the side of TREDGAMING. It seems, bring your own PC, bring your own peripherals and all that until they break, and then that's just a bit unlucky. But yeah, so obviously, if TREDGAMING have been off-rolling this entire time and they've still been being competitive with Horrocks NSE is not a job, then I mean, that's pretty good for their chance of winning the whole thing, isn't it?
It's not bad at all, yeah. I mean, right now they're looking in control, TREDGAMING, so yeah, definitely tipped by a lot of players to be the #1 seed, and right now I think showing exactly why on the Hanzo and Echo right now. I mean, no one's really comparing right now. And I do think it's also important to mention, again, if they manage to fight it that close on off rolls when they're on their main rolls, I mean, that's scary. That's very, very scary.
Yeah, just a terrifying prospect overall. It does give us a lot of insight into how things will be playing out. We were giving a lot of credit over to Horrocks NSE, and for good reason, playing very close, but you were playing close a team that was working at, like, not their full strength, It's like Tread Gaming kind of shot themselves in the foot on purpose there.
Oh, I was going to say it was like when Rock Lee takes his weights off in Naruto.
I don't watch anime, so I have no idea what you're on about.
Some people get that reference.
Yeah, well, look, I don't because I am better at Overwatch than you are. So there we are.
Of course.
Yeah. We know this to be true, just inherently.
Oh, Blood is chatting. Wow.
What are we cooking?
What are you cooking?
We don't even know anymore.
No, absolutely not.
It looks like we are going to be getting back into the game very shortly. It looks like issues have been resolved, so we are still going to get through. I guess it's time now for Horrocks NSE to just, play the run comp, perfectly and flawlessly. There's not a lot to ask for, is it?
At the end of the day, there's not a massive amount more you can do. There's no singles change you can make. Maybe swapping a Bastion over to a Cassidy might at least help duel at some mid-ranges with the Echo, but it's not enough, essentially. It would not be a big enough of a change to change the momentum. And what momentum there is, it's all on the side of Tread Gaming. We mentioned it before, we'll mention it again, a 3.5 minute time bank. They've been absolutely frying all throughout this attacking round, and Horrocks NSE is not a job. I wouldn't even be looking at equalizing the time bank. I would just look for a cap and see what you can get after that. Any finish at all, you can still fight. You can still get a sort of stronger defense, but equalizing that attack would be absolutely crazy.
This map has kind of just gone, it's just kind of, as you said, it's ran away. The compositional mismatch is so much. There are some adaptations that kind of need to be made here, which Horrocks NSE may or may not really be able to do here. There's only so many ways that you can think of saying that it is just very one-sided, and unfortunately that might be what happens here. That being said, Horrocks NSE have surprised us before. You know what? We gave them their 3 minutes. Maybe now they've warmed up. They've turned their monitors on.
Well, they weren't actually playing the game, so we'll have to see.
Ooh, this could be a different look.
Yeah, looking from what they're hovering in spawn right now, then yeah, I do quite like this. Tread Gaming's already on the ball. They have already made changes. So Condi now on the Tracer off the Hanzo, and Tread's on the Wrecking Ball. So now we are essentially just seeing dive. Angles comp, they merge very close to dive. So they're going to be playing dive, playing poke, whatever you want to call it. But Tread Gaming, I do really like what we're seeing from them. What we're seeing from Horrocks NSE is not a job. They've gone kind of the same way. So Echo versus the Pharah. Advantage normally goes towards SXJ in that trade.
Yeah, Horrocks definitely a very well-known Mercy main, as we're going to be seeing. Probably very happy about getting to play the Mercy right now instead of the Lucio. But yeah, obviously going to be changing things up a little bit here. So we are actually seeing the adaptation coming out from Horrocks NSE and Horrocks. Oh, just taken out of the sky. Clay Pigeon shooting here for Tread Gaming. Sonda just going to be chilling for a bit. That was disgusting from Takuno.
Yeah, absolutely fried him there. 2 shots onto the Mercy, but speaking of pressure onto Mercy's Ice Skill's not doing too bad himself until the beam from SXJ takes the final blow on the ball.
Interesting to be seeing the ball coming out from these teams in the time being, because it's not... Obviously, Ball did recently get a little bit of a buff to, say, the fire spread, but in the meantime, not great. And yeah, they're both just kind of being cooked by these Echoes here. Maybe, again, definitely not used to playing this at all. This fight looks very scrappy. These are not the teams that we know and love. Tread is now on the hog.
Tread has went Roadhog.
Are we in silly jail?
I think we are. Ooh, nice one click from Condi, actually, who has been very impressive on this Tracer historically. One of his best picks, especially when he was playing on sheer hold and height check before that. Fate, though, getting the final blow onto Condi means that
Are they damage boosting Tread?
What, for one-shot hooks? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
We're actually in silly jail.
Yeah, I'm also no Moira right now.
Horrocks is on
Moira, yeah.
Oh, we've given up. Alright, this is why we need more Overwatch at Epic LAN, because this is what we get. Tread is going for the interesting play with the hooks here of not landing any of them. 0% hook accuracy right now. Still 0% hook accuracy. Going to be running this one through. And yeah, it's getting very silly right now. Pulse Bomb is going to be coming through. Nice tick onto the Kuno. So maybe there's a little bit of time. 10% hook accuracy.
And yeah, Horrocks NSE is not a job. They are playing a mishmash comp right now, and they're taking mishmash fights to go along with that. Sonda on the Echo has been doing pretty okay, but with no Mercy pocket, it's going to be quite hard to duel SXJ, who has that Captain Crash following him around and making his life much, much easier. Horrocks has been on the Mercy, doesn't like it, plays the Moira instead, and I don't know how much value that provides in this comp, to be strictly honest.
Tred just kind of taking a lot of damage right now, giving AQ a lot of charge to the pulse bomb. Nano there, that is actually a very good juke, instantly going to be popped out of it. Is Sonder going to be able to get shot out of the sky? Unfortunately not. Tred using the Nano whole hog on the point, not going to be getting anyone. Isuka does actually trade for Takuno in the back line. That is the value of the hog coming out to lock that target down. And Mercy is actually able to res out Takuno. Nice little bit of skyfish in there from Tred to lock down a target for just a sec for the rest of the team to go in. Fate, however, popping the Kitsune Rush on the point. Lands some headshots onto Condi, and you need to look behind you. And you need to look behind your AQ, because Tred is here with the hook, putting in some absolute lethality. Condi is now on the Torb for whatever reason. Horrocks has decided that they do in fact enjoy the Moira right now. Going to be popping that Coalescence on the point, and yeah, Horrocks NSE finally going to be pushing this one all the way through.
Yeah, ultimates were their saving grace here. Horrocks make it a little bit awkward, 19 HP. Still fighting, still trying to get damage done, but will be taken down by Condi with a double kill. Fighting on the point continues, but only the Tracer alive now of AQ, and yeah, just going to be a stagger kill here. So 30 seconds left. There's going to be one last fight of Horrocks. NSE is not a job, but we mentioned before how it takes them a while to get warmed up into matches. They only have 25 seconds to get warmed up now, Edgar.
Horrocks is on the Weaver. Horrocks is on the Weaver.
Oh,
Isuka's on the Zarya. Tred's on the Doomfist. Tred rocking the Shanghai Dragons drip as well. Shades of young Jin Paps. Fate is in the back line. Fate has climbed the wall to try and go into the back line. Dies for it. We are firmly in silly jail right now. Nano coming through onto Tred. A lot of damage that can come through from a Doomfist onto the back line. Isuka on that Zarya, who did recently get some of her buffs reverted. Didn't end up making as much of an impact as we thought they necessarily would. And Horrocks NSE not even able to touch the point. TREDGAMING going to be taking the third map in what we can only describe as an interesting display of character selection.
I feel like I'm still dreaming, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't woken up yet, because what was that? Absolutely baffling when you got to the end of things. But yeah, I think both teams kind of realized that when TREDGAMING's all on their real roles, all playing the game as hard as they can, then it's not going to be too much of a competition. So something to work on for Horrocks before they go into the double elim tomorrow. Of course, it's going to be the only time these two teams clash today, and TREDGAMING in the rest of the day. Going to be a scary team for the other two teams in the tournament, Esports Organization and Warwick. So we're going to pay attention to those, because it's going to be a very great indicator of exactly how close it's going to be. That being said, going all the way against them for the most part shows that Horrocks NSE is not a job, still doing pretty okay throughout the tournament. So, and again, a team to keep your eye out if you're seeing who's going to go deep, who's not. But I gotta say, when the switch was flipped, when you got Condi on the DPS, especially SXJ as well, TREDGAMING, man, that was terrifying.
That was dominant, especially against a team as strong and as drilled as Horrocks NSE's not a job. They were just putting in an absolutely lethal shift. There's not more to be said, honestly. TREDGAMING just really displaying themselves as probably the most dominant team right now. Going to be seeing if that changes. We are going to be having more matches to be streamed for you. Next up, I do believe it's going to be TREDGAMING. We're going to have a little bit of a break, and then it's going to be TREDGAMING versus Esports Organization. Esports Organization, they have been recently...
It says it there. It says on the stream.
You are so weird.
Anyway, yeah, Esports Organization have had some issues with their flex DPS, as Edgar was alluding to, but hopefully that all will be sorted. But we're going to have to wait and see after the break.
Yeah, I think we're going to be sending it away. We're going to be going for a little bit of a break, and then once we're done, we'll be back for some more action for you. I think it'll be us two bringing it to you again, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you as soon as we can.